Oh, hey, hey, year. Oh, I got on layers, y'all. It's cold out here in these streets in real life. What's goody? Happy Sunday, self care Sunday. Ooh, I'm down here. Year. Shout out to my laundry that I gotta do. Yep, it's self care Sunday, y'all. So we up early. Although yesterday I did clean the hell out of Tootie. Like I pulled out because my outlets aren't working. My outlets on my in my van are not working. I think these are 12 volt or I don't know, whatever they are. But not the ones you plug in, but these. I don't know the difference. So these outlets aren't working in here, but my inverter, the plug up one, is working when I turn on my inverter, but my inverter pulls mad power. So it'd be a headache in here trying to charge shit. But yesterday I did a huge cleaning. I need to clean out my refrigerator and dump my toilet again. But I did a huge cleaning yesterday. No, I didn't capture any of that for content because it was just more about cleaning. I cleaned some clothes. I got out some winter clothes, some heavier clothes, I should say. Shout out to the one person watching me right now. I hope you're not a stalker or somebody toxic or somebody that's just ugh. Because clearly it's a lot of negative energy rolling around. um, but yeah, that's what I did yesterday. I cleaned the hell out of my spot yesterday. Cleaned the hell out of Tootie yesterday. I'm putting on socks now, y'all. It's cold. Um, and dug out all my winter stuff. Well, not all my winter stuff. A lot of my winter stuff is in storage. Because I didn't plan on being anywhere where it was going to be cold. Oh, a lot of my winter stuff is in storage. And so right now I have a lot of hoodies and sweats and stuff like that. I don't have any overcoats or anything like that, which I'm probably going to need if I take this trip up north. I don't know if I'm going to go, though. That contract has not come through yet, so. But, oh, follow me, y'all. Follow me. Follow me. Yeah, Grand Rising. Grand Rising, y'all. Grand Rising. So I do, although yesterday I did a lot of cleaning in here yesterday. I did a whole lot of cleaning in here yesterday. And I washed my hair last night. Took a long ass shower, shaved, washed my crown, threw some, matter of fact, let me do this real quick because Dr. Miracles, shout out to Dr. Miracles. Definitely do have, need to start doing more content with Dr. Miracles because they blessing my life. But shout out to Dr. Miracle. Let me do this real quick while I just pull my hair out. I use this because my hair is locked up, and then I've been coloring it a lot lately. So I had to bleach my roots the other day, a couple of weeks ago. Shay, I got you too, sis. I ain't forget about you. But I use this deep conditioner. Regular. Oh, this is supposed to be super strength. How I pick up regular strength? I don't even know. But this Dr. Miracle's Feel It formula, cleanse and conditions. I washed my hair last night. Let it dry out. I left conditioner in it last night, but I'm going to do this Dr. Miracle's conditioner, deep conditioner treatment. It's supposed to be Super Plus. However, it is not. And I'm going to bust that down real quick. Check it out. Dr. Miracles for keeping my crown strong. I'm sad I picked up the regular strength, though. My hair is too strong. I need extra strength. I need Super Plus. I'm going to do this real quick, and then we're going to bust down these dishes. And then I got to get to work with y'all. Self-care Sunday. Get y'all some self-care on this good Sunday. What Sunday is it? 3rd or 4th? Probably not even. What Sunday is it? I don't know. I'm not corporate, and I ain't been to church. Like, I be going to online church, so I used to count church on first Sunday, third Sunday, third. First Sunday, second Sunday, third. First Sunday used to be popping because that's Communion Sunday, and we used to get real wine at my church. So we used to be popping. Um, I think fourth Sunday we used to sing on fourth Sunday, so that was very. The youth would sing during the main service on fourth Sunday. They played us for the first Sunday, like y'all got this. Y'all got this last Sunday. Tell us out. But then we started singing the youth. My church, my old church. Uh, they started doing a youth service, which is really, really cool. Because our church started having, we always had mad kids in the church. Like, I remember we did everything growing up in our church. Like, everything. So, but it's cool they started doing a youth service. So, first service, like that 7:30, 8 o'clock, 6 o'clock service, that's for the old heads that be up that early. That 9:30, 9:15 service, that's for everybody that went to the club the night before, and now we trying to still get our Holy Ghost on. Yup. It's literally times I've walked in the church drunk. It's literally times I walked in the church directly from the club. Don't judge my life. I did. I showed up and I paid my tithes. Don't judge me. And then that third service would be for the kids. So we did our kids' liturgical dancing and things like that. The youth choir, youth praise team, all that stuff. I need to go dump my skipping minds right now. Sorry I wasn't still on church, y'all. But I need to go dump my toilet again. Should be filling all the way up, and I only go number 1 in there. And I don't even put toilet tissue in there. But I need to go dump that. Every time I dump, that's like $25 to $35 to dump, which is frustrating. But I can't pour this urine down the toilet. I mean, can't pour it down the drain or anything like that. So I gotta pay that little fee every time I dump. Up top, that shit was ridiculous. That shit was ridiculous. Jersey is just mad expensive. Jersey, New York, mad expensive. To dump in New, I think I was paying like $45, and it was only one spot that I could find in New Jersey. And I didn't go South Jersey. Who goes South Jersey and Central Jersey? Only time I go South Jersey is go to the beach. Don't venture down to South Jersey too much. Not for fun. Atlantic City and yeah, don't really go South Jersey too much, but oh, get that good conditioner in. So I do need to dump, and then hit these streets again. Getting content. I need to produce the content that I am getting, cause outside is open back up, and my media team, Slip Cut Media, can't produce season 2 of Van Life J Tour. I do have another young man, but I gotta get the income to pay him to release the footage. Or I could just sit down and start editing myself, because I've taught myself how to do, not Final Cut, Adobe Pro. Adobe Pro, that's what it is? Yeah, I taught myself how to do Adobe. I'm teaching myself how to do Adobe. So it's just sitting down and actually editing all the content that I have. I have not been available. I have not been releasing van life content. But as you can see, I'm still on this van life tour. I'm literally in van life, like in it now. Like, I'll say I've been full-time van life since July. And the only reason I'm saying that is because July is kind of when my van was done being built. And I kind of hit the road and just had to figure this shit out. So I'll say I've been full-time van life since July. In that aspect, what I've been learning on the road is trust my damn intuition. If something don't feel right, then skedaddle, deuces. Gas is dumb expensive. So all that traveling shit, all that just hitting the road and all that stuff, like, child buy stuff has to be more strategically set out. It's not to waste gas. Like, I literally drove down the street. My gas tank was on 55. I drove down the street, that shit dropped to 40. How, Sway? How? And then gas so damn expensive. Like, y'all better stop playing with me. We can say we want about Trump, but child bond. Trump had my pockets lined during that pandemic. Where I was able to travel a lot more, get outside and do a lot more. But I had to, my van wasn't done, so that was a headache. But anyway, I'm about to bust down these dishes real quick. Self care Sunday. So where have I been? Because I haven't been posting anything, y'all, and I do have mad content. I have so much content. Like, it's ridiculous how much content. I got like 5 cameras. Mad content that I do need to put out to the people. To the people. I just gotta sit down and actually edit this shit or get the funding to hire a media team again to do that shit for me. Until all of the money comes through that I need, I figure I could just go live and start being more present on live. Because live, I don't need to chop shit. Shit, live, we just up here talking. Why? Live, we up here just talking. Oh, come on. Come on, little lot. Come on, baby. Because I don't, what you stuck on? There you go. There you go. Don't judge my little pigtails either, y'all. Damn it. We about to be shit. Don't judge my life. But yeah, I'm not keeping that in like that. So yesterday I did a full, like I pulled out clothes. Like I called myself separating stuff and trying to give stuff away. Because the lunar eclipse, they said it's a good time to like release. I wrote some stuff out I need to go out there and burn. Never burn things inside your house. It's like you're still, unless it's sage. You only burn sage inside and you open up all your doors, windows, all that stuff to let that energy out. I wrote down some stuff that I want to release and let go of. So I'm going to go out and burn that outside. The reason I say you never want to burn it inside is like you're still keeping that energy confined, keeping that energy in your space. So I'm going to go ahead on and burn that. Oh, as I said, somebody on Clubhouse saying release weekly journaling session. Alignment. Everything be alignment. I don't know who that was. I guess we follow each other. I don't know who that was though. And I made soup the other night because, like I said, it's been very cold. So I was in here busting down some soup. Put some hot pepper sauce in that bad boy. I was warm. Psh, psh, throw some hot pepper sauce. That's a quick way to get warm out here in these streets instead of running. Because I don't have a diesel heater hooked up yet. I had to pull out my diesel heater, which I need to start learning either how to install it or I need to make my way to somebody that does know how to install a diesel heater. Because it's cold out here. It got down to 40. And my onesie's not cutting no more. I need more layers. More layers, definitely. I don't know what I'm doing to my hair right now, y'all. I'm just trying to get this shit out my face. And trying to moisturize. Oh. See that little one right there? You see how it's... I'll just pull that off. I'll probably burn. What I do with my hair is I do have a lot of locks that I've been saving. I have a whole... My hair used to be down to my... dang near my butt, y'all. But like I said, I color my hair a lot and my hair starts breaking. I was stressing that year when my grandmother passed away. I lost my job. I was homeless in real life. Like I was stressing. So a lot of my hair fell out and I have a whole bag of hair that I keep. But when it's like little stragglers like that, like yesterday I was washing my hair and mad hair came out. But when it's little stragglers like that, I burn that hair. Because a lot of What am I doing to my hair, y'all? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm sad because I missed the Soul Train Awards last night. Shout out to my big sis Michelle, who I met on YouTube. She's like, sis, I hope you're going to it's going to be at the Apollo Theater. I hope you're going to because I cover events. That's what I'm going to do once I get finished doing these dishes and stuff too. I need to put my calendar together because there's mad events that I want to hit, and outside is opening back up. And I literally got vaccinated just to go outside. Like, I'm going to be a zombie in probably like 2 or 3 years just to be able to go outside and sit up in different award ceremonies and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, so Big Sis hit me like, yo, and I kept seeing on YouTube, like they kept releasing all the old BT, that is, kept releasing all the old Soul Train performances and things. But I'm like, well, when is the Soul Train? Like, I didn't get an email from BET saying like, yo, your credentials are here, or apply for the application here, this, that, and the third. I need to hit up my homeboy Jamie. Well, he's not my homeboy, but that's my BET Connect. I need to hit up Jamie. Since my other Fordham Connect no longer works for BET. But yeah. Um I'm sad. Here, in my mouth. Because I'm running my mouth and trying to do my hair. But I'm sad I missed the Soul Train Awards last night. I would have been on the red carpet. Elder Barge came outside. Elder Barge was available. Who else was available last night at the Soul? I don't even know who hosted. Did Erykah Badu host again? Because I know Erykah Badu usually hosts the Soul Train or Tisha Campbell and them. Or Taraji. I think last year was Taraji did the BET Awards last year. I don't know. But I missed that event. I need to do, because the deadline for the Grammys and the Oscars are definitely, if I haven't already missed them, I pray to God I didn't miss that deadline for those events. And here's the thing in media, like, you could put in your application all you want to. You can put in as many applications at many different media events and stuff that they have. This is when the networking and knowing the people that you're actually talking to and trying to get on the carpet with. This is when you got to network with those PR agents. This is when you got to network with the people that work for the company, because they can see your application, but if it's not a big name, especially something like the Grammys or something like that, if it's not a big name publication, more than likely they're not going to let you on the carpet. Or if they do let you on the carpet, you're going to be all the way at the end. Don't too many people stop all the way at the end. I gotta say, I love Brandy. I love Brandy. I've always been a fan of Brandy. Like, always been a fan of Brandy since I was a little girl. So, as you guys know, I go out and I cover different events. And I've been the first 2 years I did it by myself. Like, I just did everything by myself, got my camera people, this, that, and the third. And then the last 3 years, I convinced my partners, like, yo, let's get some interns in here and get them experience on the red carpet. And all my interns are usually athletes. Because our career is going to end eventually. So let me get some of my athlete friends on the red carpet who want to work in media, and I'll get y'all back. I'm going to be directing them. I'm not going to be in front of the camera. I put a team together, and I'll be on the carpet with the team, teaching them how to, maneuver and calling over different people. So I don't know if it wasn't the BET Awards, because I covered the BET Awards myself personally. So this probably was either Black Girls Rock or the Hip Hop Awards. And I had a team there, and we were down in radio near Hot 97 and BLS and the different magazines and things like that. And I had my team there. I had my homegirl there. And I let her do all the interviews. So I was just in the background, getting the photographer right. And I was hopping between the photographer. I personally was hopping between the photographer pit and then further down the carpet where my homegirl was actually conducting the interviews. So why I'm saying all of this is say, I F with Brandy heavy, because I just said earlier, usually if you're not a big name publication, you're all the way at the other end, at the last end of the red carpet. So if you're in red carpet etiquette, it's the photo pit at the very beginning. because that's where everybody's walking through. So all the photographers chop, 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 pap, 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 pap. Kind of middle of the red carpet is usually your big time television people. Like so that'd be like an ET or uh, um, whoever else it is. Like that'd be your big time television people in the middle. So I usually that like I once I started figuring that out, I would sit and kind of just stay near them, right? But I'm supposed to be all the way down the red carpet. And then after you get past the television people, you start trickling down to different magazines, radios, this, that, and the third. So Brandy, when I tell you Brandy this year, when I tell you, and this was the year her album dropped. Was this the year her album dropped? Maybe that most recent album. Maybe that's what it was. But when I tell you Brandy stayed on the carpet with us, like she literally came all the way down the carpet, like stopped and talked to every single publication. This is Brandy, y'all. She don't gotta do that. She really, really don't gotta do that. Like she's Brandy. She was our Cinderella. Like she's Brandy. She don't have to do that. So for her to have like taken the time, like I got clips of my homegirl, I felt the way because I'm like, yo, this Brandy, this Brandy sister. I wanted the interview. I wanted it bad. But I had my team out there. So I'm like, nah, I ain't even gonna do that. Let me just sit back and let my sis do what she do. So we got great clips of her and Brandy just talking, Brandy just giving love, just spinning. And Brandy wasn't in a rush, honey. She was not in a rush. Like some people, you might get one question with somebody. Brandy was not in a rush. We was asking her everything we wanted to ask her. But yep, so I need to put my calendar after I finish doing these dishes, I'm going to put my calendar together for 2022 and all the different events, concerts. I'm trying to get on some NFL sidelines, some NBA court sidelines. I made soup, so I got mad dishes in here. Ugh. Of course, I want to get to Rock Nation brunch. I want to get to the Grammys and BET Awards. I gotta turn on my water pump, y'all. So let me show y'all. So down here is all my electric. These have not been working for the last, I want to say like maybe a week or so. They haven't been working. That's why I had to pull out everything yesterday and figure out what the hell is going on because I don't know why these aren't working. This is my light in here. These are my LED lights. And this one is my water pump. As you hear, it just turned on. This one we don't have set to anything yet, but it's cool. But that hasn't been working. That's my inverter. So I've been having to charge everything through here. But that pulls mad power. Anytime I just turn on when I just turn on my inverter, like legitimately, if I went on my Rainergy app right now, this shit drops like every second. My inverter's on. Like my battery power drops every second. Legitimate. So I'm trying to figure this all out. Clearly, I've been trying to learn how to game from the road as well. And I've been trying to understand my power source and get that together. Where's my soap? Put this up. Put this back up. Thank you, Dr. Miracle. Got my scalp feeling good. I messed up because I did not purchase the Super Strength. But either way, I'm conditioned out here. Either way, we conditioned. So to bring y'all up to speed, I am full-time living in Tootie. Last year, it's this app called Clubhouse that was popping. And around my birthday, September last year, my homeboy, he's somebody in this film and film and television industry. My homeboy was like, yo, download this app. I was on this app all night long. Download this app. So this back in September. I'm like, man, I ain't about to download another app. I'm trying to get my life together. I was doing this Rising Tide Academy stuff. Like I was trying to get my life together. So September I didn't download it. I finally someone just told me like, let me just see what's going on, because like 3 or 4 people just kept talking about this app called Clubhouse. So finally I downloaded the app. I think around November, December. Downloaded the app. I need to see when my year anniversary is on Clubhouse. Anybody else water pump be pumping hard as hell? No, just me. And then that shit cold as hell. So you gotta run the water to get that shit warm. There you go. There go the warm water. Okay, come on, hot water tank. Come on, hot water tank. Come on through. So Clubhouse was popping last year. I gotta find a different stand for my phone, so I'm not standing right on top of y'all as I'm trying to conduct these lives. This works for my this stand works for my office, but it does not work for the kitchen. So I do have other stands. They just bulky and I don't feel like pulling them shits out. But anywho, Clubhouse was popping last year. So as I was traveling and trying to find somebody to help me build out my band, Tootie girl, I started doing these different rooms on Clubhouse and meeting different people on Clubhouse. So just to bring y'all up to speed, at this point in time, this is like September, October, November of last year. So September, October, I was staying with my homegirl. Shout out to Fleisch. Y'all saw her from season 1. That was a very interesting time period. Fleisch is a Trump supporter, and her whole family is a Trump supporter. And Fleisch is a white woman in America, blonde hair, blue eyes. I don't know if she has blue eyes, but it was a very interesting dynamic. And this woman was letting me live with her, a black woman, during an election. And we were both very vocal about our what we feel. So I was living with my homegirl Fly last year, after living with a couple of other people too, like sleeping on somebody's floor in a 1-bedroom apartment. Like I was homeless, y'all. I ain't having none of money. Nothing was coming in. No income was coming in. It was a pandemic, so there's no jobs. Nothing was open. Couldn't get unemployment. I started applying for different grants and things like that, because my company, and I learned about it. When you're not a business owner and you don't know, it's a lot of things you don't know. So I didn't have other people that was teaching me about. That's why I started the Rising Tide Academy thing. So I was in Rising Tide, and I got a message from my homegirl. Can't even call her a homegirl anymore. I went to high school with this young lady. We played basketball. I was a freshman in high school. She was a senior. So I always looked up to this young lady. Like, she was my big sis. Like, she took me under her wing as a freshman. She was always very, very classy as a female athlete. Like, I really, really looked up to this young lady. Ciao, bye. So she told me to come. She hit me up on my inbox. She was like, hey, I own apartments down in Texas. She says, I own different. I'm trying to get that light out of y'all face, y'all. My bad. Matter of fact, this is what I'm gonna do. Open up some natural light and see if that helps, instead of pulling that energy. I'm gonna rock out like that. So my homegirl hit me up. She was like, yo, I own apartment complex down in Texas. I see that you're trying to get your van and stuff together. This is last year, y'all. I'm trying to bring y'all up to speed about everything that's been going on with me. No, I don't want to do that. So she hits me on Facebook out of the blue and was like, yo, come down to Texas. I own an apartment building. You let me know when you can come down. I'll have my my what do you call the people that be on, my landlord, my super set the apartment up for you, so you'll be able to work on your van, this and the third. Mind you, I never asked this woman for this. I didn't ask her. She shot me a message in Facebook Messenger. Mind you, I hadn't spoken to her in years. Like, we follow each other on Facebook. I went to her first or second child's baby shower. Mind you, again, this was years ago. So I really didn't know this woman like that any longer. But in my head, she was still my big sis. And I felt honored that she was offering me a 1-bedroom apartment to come down. And she was like, yo, I'll hook you up with contractors. You'll have the fully furnished 1-bedroom apartment. The apartment is fully furnished. You can stay down there for the wintertime, because I know in Jersey it's going to be mad cold and you living in your van. So I'm like, oh, thank you, Lord, for this opportunity. I appreciate this. Thank you, sis. I'm coming down. So I drove down to Texas last year, right before Thanksgiving. And so for the first week or two, I'm hanging out with her and her family. Like, she had me cleaning up her room, she was going through a divorce, and she had just recently moved from one of her other properties into another property where she was staying with her and her children. And she had me cleaning up like the garage and cleaning up her bedroom and helping her put up Christmas, Thanksgiving. We did all that stuff. So for the first 2 weeks when I get down to Texas, I never see the apartment. I'm sleeping on her couch. Mind you, all my stuff is still packed inside of Tootie, because I had literally put all of my belongings inside of my van, and took my first road trip in Tootie. So it was like a 26-hour road trip from Jersey to Texas. And then actually, I stopped in Memphis. Shout out to my homeboy Terrell. I stopped in Memphis and just met with his grandmother and mother, and got some good old Southern wisdom and Southern love in Memphis. Oh, young Dolph, rest in peace, sir. And then I headed on down to Texas. So like I said, once I got to Texas, the first week or so, first 2 weeks, staying on my homegirl's couch because she got me cleaning up her stuff. And I'm in Killeen, so this is an Army base. I had never been around an Army base or anything like that before, so I didn't know the protocols or anything like that. So after the second week, after Thanksgiving, and we did Thanksgiving together. We put up decorations for Christmas. I helped her clean out her bedroom, and I helped her clean out her garage. After she got done using me for that, she took me to the apartment that I would be staying in. Mind you, she told me it was a fully furnished 1-bedroom apartment, everything included. I had to just give her the heads up. I need to wash all that. I just needed to give her the heads up before I got down there so she could let her super know to hook everything up. So finally, she takes me to the apartment that I'm supposed to be staying in November, December, January. 3 months. She let me stay there for 3 months, which I ended up stretching it out to April. Ended up getting it to stretch out to April. Anyway, so she takes me to the apartment. I'm pulling up with her. We get to the apartment. Her tenant one of her tenants, so it's probably like maybe 6 different people living in this apartment complex. I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6 would have been me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 would have been me, because I was upstairs, Jay was upstairs, and everybody else lived on the first floor. And there was another young lady that lived on the other there. I didn't even, child, anyway, let me tell y'all. So we pull up to the apartment, and I pull up with her. It's in the hood. But I don't know no difference about, like, I just see that it's the hood because I'm from the hood, so I see it's the hood. Mind you, I just left Trumpville. I was living in the suburbs. I had my own room, bathroom, um, king size bed up in Trumpville with my homegirl Fly because she had a 3 bedroom brand new house. Fly didn't kick me out or anything. Fly was like, yo, you can stay here as long as you need. Fly's cousin was the one that was helping me build out my van and everything. Sister was like, yo, you don't have to stay here. I mean, you can stay here as long as you need. It's okay. Make sure you good, this, that, and the third. So Fly never was kicking me out of her house. I just knew I needed to go and move forward. And when I got this email from this young lady, I'm like, yo, this is right on time, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. Blah, 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 whoop-de-woo. Bust down to Texas. Bang that down. Get down there, and we pull up to the apartment, and the first thing that comes out of one of her tenants' mouth is, Miss Landlady, when are you sending an exterminator to come get these rats out of my apartment? Not mice. Rats, bruh. Rats. This is the first time I'm driving up to this apartment with her. Whoo! Okay. So we hop out. She starts showing me around and introducing me to the super, this, that, and the third. She takes me upstairs to the apartment. Mind you, the apartment is abandoned. There is nothing in there. Like, it's nothing in there. So she takes me upstairs to the apartment. It's in the hood. It's an apartment. I'm trying to wrap my head around it because she told me that she was going to have all this set up and this, that, and the third. And she was going to connect me with all these different people, this, that, and the third before I got down there. So now I'm confused. Like, yo, what? Nothing set up. Absolutely nothing set up. There's no stove in there. There's no... There was a couch. No bed. No desk. No nothing. There's nothing in this apartment. So she then gives me the keys to 2 other apartments in the complex. And she takes me to these other apartments. When I tell you, when I stepped into, she was like, all right, so there's a stove in this apartment. You're going to go and get the stove out of that apartment. She wasn't going to help me with shit. It was up to me to piece everything together and live in an apartment, which, again, false pretense. She didn't tell me that shit before I got down there. Okay. So when I walk into the other 2 apartments, and then there was like a bed in another apartment, a stove upstairs in another apartment, a desk in downstairs in the storage apartment. When she showed me this storage apartment, yo, that shit was so nasty, bruh. When I tell you rat shit was everywhere. Everywhere. And I'm trying to wrap my mind around this, like, God, you opened the door for me to bring me down here? Like, in this? In her mind, beggars can't be choosy. She was giving me a free apartment to stay in. She wanted me. This is what I learned later on. After she showed me all the 2 different, you know, when I tell you these different apartments, it was nasty in there. It was nasty. It was nasty. Not mice trapping, rats dropping, roaches everywhere. Like, it was nasty. And she had vets living in here. Like, because she's a vet. She's a vet. So she was getting all her money because you could get write-offs and shit as a vet. And she had already retired and all that shit. So she's a realtor and she's a vet. So she getting all these extra plugs and shit from Uncle Sam to get these apartments and shit and these homes and shit. But she was a slumlord. So we get down there. All right. She showed me the different apartments. All right. She takes me back to her house that night. She's like, all right, well, I got a whole bunch of cleaning supplies for you. You can stay here tonight, and tomorrow you could just go back tomorrow and start, you know, putting your stuff together. We got back to her house, yo. I boo-hooed in my van for an hour. Mind you, I couldn't get back here yet because all my shit was still in the back of Tootie. So what I was only restricted to the front cabin of the van. When I tell you I cried for like an hour just like, God, I left New Jersey to come down here. I thought this was a sign. I thought I knew this woman. I thought she was my big sis. I thought she cared about me, this, that, and the third. Whew. So it took me about maybe 2 or 3 days because the next day I just got up. I took a nap on her. Well, I went to sleep. Mind you, I was sleeping on her couch in her house. Went to sleep, got up, took a shower the next day. She did give me all the cleaning. So, like, she gave me bomb spray and all that shit. She gave me all that stuff. to clean up the apartment. So the next day I go back and I start cleaning up, scrubbing, cleaning up, scrubbing, cleaning up. Before I could even get to the other apartments to pull the furniture out of there. How the hell was I gonna pull furniture by myself? She's like, well, just ask some of the guys that lives around here. So, that's another thing I forgot. We in the hood, right? So, and we around the army base. So I didn't know this. Around army base is usually poverty and a lot of mental health issues and things like that. And a lot of like, just people floating around. So every day in this particular apartment, it would just be, I don't know, they were army vets that were just down on their luck. If they were just like homeless people in the community. But every day, it was a group of 5 people that just hung out on the front stoop of the apartment. And they were like men. So I'm already nervous with that. Like, I'm a 6-foot+ woman. But I know in the summertime, I'm not going to have no clothes on. I don't like wearing clothes, y'all. I like being naked. And I know dudes don't always know how to control themselves. And then I know I don't know if they're army vets who are mentally off or they're homeless people who are mentally off. So I didn't always feel comfortable. So she was like, well, just ask some of the guys to help you bring the furniture, ask the super. I'm like, well, damn, you said all this was going to be set up before I got down here. So for like a week or two, it's just me. I ain't even going to lie. It wasn't a week or two. Because I had already had everything set up there. All right, when I get down there, I'm going to bust this down. I'm going to start doing this. I'm going to find a builder. I'm going to this, that, and the third. She said she's going to hook me up. None of that happened. So it took me like a week to really, really clean everything and pull everything from the other apartment. So I'm still having to sleep on a roach-infested fucking bed. I'm pulling a desk. I'm pulling the stove. Stove didn't get hooked up till like a month and a half after I was there already. Thank God the stove finally got hooked up because that was my only source of heat. She didn't have heat in these apartments. She had an air conditioner system that also acted like a heater. Never worked. It's an air conditioner system that's supposed to be pushing out hot air to help heat up the whole apartment. This is during that storm too, y'all. Mind you, I'm from New Jersey, so that shit was lightweight. That little shit down in Texas was lightweight considered. Like, that shit was lightweight. Texas, they did not know how to act. Like, I left my water dripping so my pipes wouldn't freeze. Like, I made sure my water was dripping so my pipes wouldn't freeze. Fuck that. I'm from Jersey. Like, we know how to handle this shit. We know how to maneuver. Wrapping it back, that little ass heater never worked. I ended up having to get a little space heater. So I'm not the only one in there. There are like 3 elderly women down that live on the first floor. And I'm going to say 2. So it's 2 elderly women that live on the first floor. It's a black lady and a white lady. In between her is like this mental lady that's, she was Asian. But I think she was like mentally just off. So my homegirl wasn't charging her rent or anything, but she was asking this lady to leave, but the lady wouldn't leave or whatever. So I was staying over her. And then the 2 guys, which was the 2 guys were still actively in the army. So, the younger one, he was married, going through marital problems. He really, really was going through a lot of emotional, mental problems. Like, he really, really had a lot of emotional, mental problems. The older dude, the African dude that was on the ground floor, that was the super. So he was the one that was supposed to be, according to her, connecting the apartment, this, that, and the third. When I got there, he was like, yo, she ain't never tell me none of that shit. She ain't say nothing to me. She never told me that. So when I would go ask them for help, it was like I was pulling teeth, like I was begging them because she never hooked this shit up. Anyway, so let me finish washing these dishes because I got that damn hot water heater running. So eventually I got the apartment up and booming. I done cleaned out. I done cleaned the energy in that bad boy. I done put up 2 bombs. I done did 2 bombs for rodents and insects and shit. Finally got the apartment clean, energy right, smelling good, looking good, all that stuff. And I started pulling up all my stuff from Tootie. I started bringing up all my stuff because, again, all of my stuff was in the back of my van. Everything I owned was in the back of my van. So then I started, and I'm staying upstairs, guys. So I started unpacking my van and unpacking, and started taking things upstairs so I could start building in my van. So then I asked her for the contractor. She's like, well, I don't know anybody, but I believe that you'll be able to find somebody down here. We're in Texas, and it's a whole lot of workers and this and that. Which is true. That's true. It's a lot of my SA brethren that work down there. Oh, SA, my homes. So I was looking for builders every day trying to help me build this van out. So come December 4th, I'll never forget, December 4th, it's Jay-Z's birthday. I'm in the apartment. I'm working my ass off. I'm getting to it. At this point, Clubhouse is popping. So I'm doing 2 and 3, 4, 5 shows a day on Clubhouse. Just meeting mad different people. I'm doing rooms in Van Life is Unite. Like 3 rooms a day in Van Life is Unite. I'm doing a room with Daniel Artest and the guys. Real basketball talk, no hot takes. Daniel, K, and Zach. We in there doing rooms every day. Then I'm hooking up with the doctors. That's Dr. Cindy, Dr. Catrice, Dr. Adebola. We doing real healthcare professionals meet. We doing rooms 2 or 3 times a day. So I was booked on Clubhouse. Like I'm booked and busy on Clubhouse. While I'm still trying to be in Rising Tide Academy, I was taking a business course called Rising Tides Academy. Damn, I got some makeup on my plate the other day. And it doesn't look like it's coming off. Huh. Interesting. So I'm doing Rising Tide Academy. I'm looking for builders to help me build out Tootie. I'm doing rooms all day, every day on Clubhouse. This one Clubhouse used to be bumping. Like we used to have like 300 people in a room and shit. Like Clubhouse used to be bumping. Meeting all these different people, meeting all these stars. That's how I met my future Wimbe. So December 4th, she comes in, and homegirl says to me, yeah, yo, I'm going to move you out of this apartment and put you into another apartment because I'm going to rent out this apartment and have somebody else come in. That shit was like a punch to my gut, yo. Like, I stepped back, like, huh? That's not what you said to me, yo. I'm like, yo, and you only gave me 3 months to be here for free. I need to build my van because I don't have any place else to go. I need to be building on my van. I'm not going to have the time to take another 2 weeks to clean up one of your other apartments and scrub that shit down. And them other 2 apartments was nastier than this apartment, y'all. When I tell you it was rat shit everywhere, roaches everywhere. These apartments was nasty. And this girl had the nerve to be doing classes online where a lot of our Jersey friends was taking her real estate classes online. Because in the pretense was like, she got me down there, was like, I was going to help her do her podcast, like start setting up her podcast. And I'm helping her. Like, I'm giving her all the ideas, all the different things to download, this, that, and the third, like what she need to distribute to this, that. She ain't want to take none of my opinions on none of that shit. Okay, so I peep game with that. All right, so you don't really want my help. You brought me down here to work for you and get your shit up. That's what in money talk. Okay. So she comes in and tells me this. I sent her a message. Like, that shit threw me off. I'm crying in the apartment for like 2 hours after. And I was feeling good that day. It was Jay-Z's birthday. I was getting work done. I was blasting my music. I was getting shit done. And then here she come. That shit messed me up for like an hour or 2. So I started thinking of a plan. All right, so clearly money talks. Sis, I'm not going to want to go to another apartment. I'm not going to want to clean up. I really need to build my damn van. You gave me 3 months to be here. I need to get to work for me. Like, I can't stop. And nah, that's not cool. That's not fair. And again, if I would have known this was your plan, I wouldn't have taken you up on this offer that you offered me, that you lied about. All right. So, boom. I figured to her, I was like, and all this happened because I feel like this happened. She invited me to go to a boxing match in Dallas that weekend. And I honestly didn't have the money to go. I didn't have the money to go. It was a lot of the Jersey heads that was going to come to Dallas and they was going to go to this boxing match. I ain't really a boxing fan, but I was just going to go just to be hanging out. And I ain't know nobody down there. She invited me. So I figured out, I scrambled up some money to get to be able to just take the ride with her and give her like maybe $100 for the hotel room that weekend. I guess in her mind, if I had money to go to Dallas and I had money to do something else, so she just flipped the whole script on me. Just flipped the whole script on me. So I'm like, all right, say less. I say, money talk. Clearly you on your money shit. I give you $400 a month if you let me stay in here. I had already put all the utilities in my name because I was like, all right, if I change over my car insurance to be down here, I'm thinking like it is up in Jersey. You got to have proof of address. So I'm going to need proof of address. Let me put the utilities in my name. I'll be paying the utilities. She was paying everybody else's utilities. When I tell you people's utilities was getting cut off every fucking week, like... She was a slumlord, for real, for real. And then you dealing with veterans, too. And veterans, I'm learning, they are special type of people. Special type of people. Well, not veterans, are actively reserved people, whatever they were. So, like, I told you about my neighbor. He was a young guy, and he was in the Army. So when I tell you, that same weekend she came in there and did that bullshit, and she was up in Dallas at the boxing match, his electricity went off. So he came over to my apartment like at, I'm going to say like 7 o'clock in the morning, banging on my door like, yo, you spoke to old girl. Like, she's not returning my calls. I knew where she was, but I wasn't fucking with her then. Because she left me. She did some bullshit. And I expressed to her, like, yo, that was foul how you did me. You got me down under false pretense. You told me you was going to do this, that, and the third. And now you just flipped at the whole script. Clearly you want money. Money talk. I can offer you $400. I don't want to leave. I've already unpacked all my shit. I really don't have any place else to go. So if you let me stay here throughout the rest of the winter like you promised me, matter of fact, extend that to April, I'll be out your hair. So I did in there some other shit too. So she was up in Dallas at the boxing match. His electricity goes off. He comes to me the next morning. I sent her this text message. So Friday was December 4th. That was Jay-Z's birthday. The 5th, I'm texting her all this stuff, trying to devise a plan of not to go into those other 2 nasty-ass apartments and have to clean that shit up. So then Sunday morning, that's when his electricity goes off. So he's over there. He's mentally, I can't take this. I'm stressing. I need my electricity. And he's really, really going through it. Like, he was going through it. Like, I guess it was something about he was going through it. He was going through it. So all day long that Sunday, all day long, I got him in my house because he don't want to go back to his apartment because his electricity out. I got the super in my house because we supposed to be hooking up some other stuff and trying to clean up this, that, and the third. So all day Sunday, and I'm supposed to be working so I can get my shit together for the next week. Mind you, I'm still stressed out because she done told me that she want me to leave out this apartment, this, that, and the third. So come to find out later on that night, she called the super. I guess she felt the way that all the guys were in my apartment and we were just talking. Like, I had gotten up because at this point I'm up. So I made coffee for everybody. Like, we in there trying to figure out, trying to talk old buddy off a ledge all day that Sunday. So he was calling her. I wasn't entertaining her bullshit. She showed me who she was. I wasn't off of her bullshit. So she goes tells the super. So later on that night, I'm lying. Myself and the young boy, we go grab some food and go to Walmart. He's still having an emotional breakdown all day long. All day long, we was in his emotional bag all day. We get back to the apartment, and the super comes back to my apartment, and he's like, what happened with you and old girl? I told him this what happened. He was like, "Oh yeah, she told me to tell you to give you her keys to the other two apartments and don't talk to me about anything like that. Don't discuss anything. Don't discuss her business to me and this, that, and the third." And I'm like, one, I'm not giving you her keys. She gave me those keys. She put those keys in my hand. She knows where I am. I'm still waiting for her to come have a face-to-face conversation with me when she gets back from Dallas. Just to have a real life. You was woman enough to come down here and you lied to me about all this stuff. You came to the apartment, told me I had to move. But now when I trying to work this shit out, she go ghost. She go ghost. So a buddy's calling the dude whose electricity gets cut off, because this ain't the first time. He's calling his, I guess his like PO boss or something like that. I forget what the people call, what the army people call these people, like the head. So he was making a complaint, and I'm trying to still like vouch for her. Like I'm still trying to still have this bitch back and shit. I'm telling him, nah, don't call him. You know, she already said she's on her way home today. She's going to connect your electricity. She's going to pay the bill. The electricity should be on soon, so don't call him. He ended up still calling his people, getting her in trouble in some type of way. Which I was fussing with him. I was like, yo, she said she's going to work it out. Why the fuck would you still go do a report? Like, that shit don't make no sense to me. Like, why would you still... I feel like that was a setup. Like, you wanted to set her up. Like, she took care of it, and you still called and made it a report. So, I was frustrated with him about that shit. So, by the time we get back to the apartment, she's telling the super, oh, don't tell her none of my business. Get my keys from her, this, that, and the third. Y'all don't need to be hanging around her, this, that, and the third. Mind you, I've been celibate for a year at this point, and I wasn't fucking with none of these dudes. Like, wasn't beat. Wasn't even sexually attracted to any of them. So... like, she even said to me, oh, don't sleep with that young boy. Child, why would I sleep with him? He got mental health issues. Like, and he a baby. Like, why would I even entertain that? Like, that shit don't even sound right. Like, what the fuck is you talking about? Like, clearly you don't know me. Clearly you don't know me. So, the super comes to me telling me to give... I'm like, nah, I'm not giving you her keys. If she wants her keys, she can come talk to me. I'll be here. She know where I am. This is her apartment building. She put the keys in my hand, so come get the keys from me. When I tell y'all, it probably took this woman 3 weeks for her to come pop up, back up, and talk to me. 3 weeks. For her to say anything to me. So I didn't know if the proposal that I gave her was still in effect or I needed to be out. Because she called me. I'm lying. She called me around Christmas. And mind you, she's up in New Jersey at this point in time. She calls me and she was like, yo, you need to be out of my apartment. This isn't going to work. This, that, and the third. I need to rent. She just started, and I'm going, and I was like, yo, what? I'm like, yo, you brought me down here. You said it was okay for me. And at this point, I'm yelling and screaming. Because I'm at my max. Like, don't fuck me over. Don't fuck me. Don't do that shit. Don't treat me like trash. And don't treat me like trash just because you're doing me a favor. Don't do that shit. I have a huge issue with people that claim Christianity and claim help, this, that, and the third, but then want to treat you like shit because they're helping you. You ain't no fucking Christian. You the devil. So in her mind, oh, because she was helping me, I was her slave to do all her work for her. She could talk to me any type of way. She could treat me any type of way. I was just supposed to be, I should have been grateful for her giving me a full bedroom apartment. This is what she was saying to me. So at this point, I'm yelling and screaming. I'm like, yo, fuck all of that. Nah, like, that's not cool. Like, you're not going to throw me out like I'm trash. You got me down here. Why are you up in New Jersey kicking it with your family? I'm down here in Texas and I don't know nobody. You're the only person I fucking know down here. So we going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. New Year hit. My social worker mind started clicking. Oh, hold up. It's no way in hell these apartments are past any codes. I know, ain't no heater in here, ain't no smoke detectors in here, ain't no evacuation, nothing. Is nothing. I'm from working in social work for the last 10 years. I started to remember, like, oh nah, all this is this is a whole fucking disaster. And you're a realtor. What I did to cover myself is I had to do my homework. I called the Texas people and I put a formal complaint. And this is right before that damn snow thingy hit in Texas. I put in a formal complaint against her. I didn't send this shit to her address, her home address. I sent it to her office. Stop playing with me. We not. We not. And the utility bills are in my name, so it's proof that I'm living here and I'm staying here. And I was the only one that had the utility bills in my name. Everybody else had the utilities in her. So I'm covering myself. Stop playing with me. Don't treat me like shit, and I'm covering myself. My mind just started working. Okay, so I sent her a message. Eventually, she came and asked for her keys. And I was still cordial with her. Still cordial. Still didn't even have a stove at this point in time. But I'm still cordial with her. I'm still, all right, bitch, I see who you are. I don't fuck with you. You ain't shit, but I'm staying in this apartment. Okay. She would come knock on my door and legitimately not speak. Eventually, she sent somebody to put in the stove. She's like, yeah, she came knocking. She's like, can I have the keys? I'm like, sure, here you go. I didn't feel comfortable giving it to him because he didn't give me the keys. You gave me the keys. I said this directly to her face. And she's like, okay, well, somebody is coming to put in the stove. And I said, well, thank you, because it's been a while and there's no heat in here. She left, didn't say anything. Somebody comes to put in the stove. We having a conversation. He connects me to some builders because, again, she didn't connect me with nobody who could help me build out Tootie. She just got me down here doing work for her. All right, cool. So I'm just networking with different people, trying to find builders. This is when I learned that Austin, Texas, has a huge tiny home community. Austin was only like maybe 45 minutes away from me, like 45 minutes away from me. And my other homeboy, I learned, my homeboy, shout out to my homeboy Jeff, who played at Fordham University, but he lived down that way too. So I'm like, oh shit, I do know people. Let me stop playing. Let me start networking. Then I started getting on the Facebook networking pages. Clubhouse was still popping, dopping. So I'm on Clubhouse every day, still making connections, still working, still making shit work. Finally found some builders. At this point, she don't talk to me no more. Like, she don't even come around and talk to me no more. Like, she's done with me. Because I've now cursed her out via text message, via email, and via the phone. Stop playing with me. Okay. So mind you, I told you there was another tenant. I never saw this girl before. There was another tenant that lived in the front of the building. Mind you, I said where the people would hang out. Just random ass people would hang out in the front of the building. The storage apartment was at the front of the building. And then on top, there was another apartment that I didn't even know of. So one day, I just wake up and I hear this young lady outside fussing up a fit. She got a baby on her hip and everything. Yo, she told me she's going to be here. She's not here. All I need is the key to my mail. I'm trying to get my mail and get the rest of my stuff out. She won't fix these steps. There's no heat in the apartment. I got a brand new baby. Like, just, and the girl ended up was paying her rent the whole time she wasn't living in an apartment. The whole time she wasn't in there, because, mind you, I got down there in like November, Thanksgiving. I hadn't seen that girl until that storm came. The week before that storm, girl, that's when this girl came popping up, fussing and screaming at old girl. So, and I'm like, yo, I knew everything she was saying was true, because that's exactly how she just treated me. The landlord had just treated me. And this, I'm supposed to be her sis from high school. So everything the young girl's saying to me, and I feel bad for the young girl. She's like, yo, I've been paying her my rent. I haven't been staying here. She won't fix my steps. And she lived upstairs. So it was a long ass fucking stairway to her apartment. She won't fix my steps. I don't have no heat in here. Old girl didn't even know about the rodent problem. She didn't even know about that. I slipped up and was like, yeah, because this man roaches and rats. She's like, it's rats over here? I'm like, damn, I didn't even know you didn't know. Okay. Thank God I never saw a rat in my house. Thank God. That's why I didn't want to move to those other two apartments, because I saw all the rat droppings and shit. All right, boom, boom, boom. Old girl comes to the apartment that day to deal with that situation. Matter of fact, this is the same day she asked me for her keys back, because she's now had to show her face at the apartment building because this girl is down here raising hell. You told her to come pick up these mailbox keys, and now you're not here, saying that she should come to your office or talk to your assistant. Nah, she's dealing with you directly. That's bad business. Don't shoo somebody away because they not talking. I don't fuck with this girl because I don't like the way she did business. I'm talking about the landlord. I don't fuck with her anymore. And everything that she, again, every way that she treated me is how she been treating her tenants. This how you treat your people. And some of these are veterans, so clearly you don't give a fuck about them. All right. So fast forward, I find some builders while I'm in Texas. They don't know what they're doing when it comes to van building. The storm hits in Texas, and I found the builder maybe like a week or two right before the storm hit. And he was going to help me in my electricity and help me build out my van. He goes ghost after the builder goes ghost after the storm. I can't find this man for like 2 weeks. I can't find him. I'm calling him. I'm texting him. I'm driving by his job. I drove by his house. I can't find this man. Finally, he sends me a text message. Oh, I was sick, this, that, and the third. I apologize. You can come by today and we'll work on the van. That's a Friday. I finally pull up on him. He got a whole little attitude with me. And I'm like, how? I already paid you half this money. How you got an attitude with me? Not talking to me, irritated, all that shit. He do a little bit of work on the van. Matter of fact, he put the solar panels up. He was the one that put the solar panels up, and he connected the batteries to connect the solar panels. After he put the solar panels, he put 2 solar panels up. He goes missing for another month, another week. He told me to come back to his house on Saturday. I'm calling him, blowing him up like, yo, what's going on? Where are you? He not returning none of my phone calls. He introduces a partner who's going to help him build out the van. He introduces me to him. I didn't have the partner's phone number at this point in time. I only was dealing with the one guy. So we get to, I'm calling him that Saturday. He's not returning any of my calls. He gets back to me around 3, 4 o'clock. Like, well, can you just come tomorrow? I'm like, yo, like, I've been calling you all day long. Anyway, fast forward, he sends me a text message. I can't work on your van anymore. Here's my partner's number. He'll be able to work with you. And, but I'm like, well, I didn't pay him. I paid you. He's like, he'll take care of it. So I meet with the other builder guy. We're meeting. And I'm just venting like, yo, I don't know what's up with this guy. Like, he just left me out here in the cold. Like, I've been trying to be very, very patient with him, but he not communicating with me. Like, I'm begging him, and he not communicating with me. He's like, well, what happened on Saturday? I was out here. I came Saturday, and you never showed up. I was like, I was calling him all day, all night. He told me not to come. He legitimately told me not to come. Okay, so as I'm venting to this guy, come to find out, his partner is his dad, is his father. So I've been dealing with the son, and I didn't know that this man that he brought in was his partner, because he was like, yo, don't discuss anything about my health or whatever to this guy, this, that, and I'm like, all right, that ain't my business to tell nothing. Like, I'm out of that shit. I don't got nothing to do with that. So come to find out, this is his father, though. So as I'm venting, like, yo, I don't get this guy. Like, he really just been real nasty and rude with me, like, just mad. So I guess the father's like, yo, this is when he confesses to me after I tell him all this stuff. He's like, yeah, that's my son. I apologize. We trying to work. So anything he told you that he was going to do for you, I got you. I got you. Just come on down to, he was living down in Austin too. So I would have to drop, no, he was further than Austin. I can't remember where he was, but he was like an hour out. She's like, yo, you could just start coming down to me. We'll work on the van, this, that, and the third. So maybe this is like 3 Saturdays we would connect. That shit was just disastrous. I noticed that he would tell me to buy all these products, and he wasn't helping me build shit. He wasn't helping me do nothing. Like, I would be in the van for hours trying to put up just the damn the foundation of the wood and shit like that. His ass would be gone. I wouldn't even see this man. He, in my head, he's telling me he's in the back cutting wood and cutting this, that, and the third. He wasn't doing shit. He wasn't doing nothing. He wasn't doing a thing. But I'm driving an hour down and an hour back to get my van worked on. I'm stressing this because now the deadline for me to move out of this apartment is vastly approaching. All I have set up is my 3 solar panels. and my two batteries. I think he hooked up the inverter and he hooked up the inverter. Even the hookup, the way they hooked my shit up was still wrong, and I didn't know it. I honestly didn't know that it was wrong. So, mind you, I said Clubhouse was popping back in the day. Clubhouse was popping, 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 popping. So I met all these real big time people from Clubhouse. I met a lot of people in the schoolie and van life community from Clubhouse. I started my group called Van Life is Unite. We be running shows. I met the people from Diversified Van Life. I met the people from Tiny Home Tours. I met the people from the Seeker app, which was once the Van Life app. All these different people come to sit at my table. All these different people throw me out different opportunities because my club over here popping. The only reason why my club was popping like it was is because I was the only person in the van life community that was going on Clubhouse every single day. Like those other clubs, they were already big. Like Van Life Diversified. Vaughn had Tiny Homes and Van Life Living. Vaughn, he had a huge community on there, but nobody was doing shows. Nobody was doing shows. So I'm like, well, damn, if I want to try to, I don't see nobody doing no shows. So let me just start doing shows so I can meet some people, make a community, and figure out how to really live this van life shit. So like, again, I said, I'm on Van Life is Unite. We doing like, I build a community of people. We got like 5 shows a day. I'd say like maybe 4 shows a day. And I'm meeting all these big time ass people. I didn't know who the fuck Tiny Home Tours was. I didn't know who Diversified Van Life was. I didn't know who the Van Life app. I remember seeing the Van Life app episode of Shark Tank when I was doing my research. And so when they folded across my stage, I'm like, oh shit, I remember watching your video. What's up? Like, what's going on? So the Van Life app was the first people that offered me money. Let me tell y'all my whole truth, right? So Clubhouse popping. This one they trying to figure it all out, and they started giving people contracts, like business contracts and shit like that, like helping people with their different communities and shit like that. So the Van Life app came to me and was like, yo, we'll give you $2,000 a month. You could either be a partner with us or we'll just give you $2,000 a month. We'll structure your shit for you. You'll be the face of your whole van life and stuff, but we're going to run everything on the back end for you. I'm like, oh, mind you, I ain't never asked them for that shit. I ain't never asked them for that. They came to me. So Bree was like, all right, you got to put together a proposal. I need all this information on your Van Life is Unite group. I need all this information on your everything you're doing. Like, she wanted all my fucking information. And I'm stressing. Like, I'm having meetings with my business team. At this point, I had put together a little board of people because I couldn't do it all by myself, y'all. I couldn't. And I was trying to build out this van. And I was trying to get money on this. Like, I couldn't do it all by myself. So I had some people who I thought was cool with me from Van Life is Unite. I'm too trusting. Way too trusting. Mind you, it was all white folks too, yo. All white folks. Because my black people ain't want to be down with me. My whole mentor, I was begging Coach Carly to come there. Coach Carly, I need an admin, please. Coach Carly, like, nah, I can't help you. I can't help you. I'm raising my mom and my father. I'm trying to get my business shit off the ground. Coach Carly don't curse. So it's like, she's like, I can't help you. Coach Carly then also hit just another little shady stuff about Coach Carly. I ain't never really tell nobody. Everything I made, I'm the reason why Coach Carly came in the clubhouse. Every move I make, I always incorporated Coach Carly. Point blank period. It's like I call her my mom tour. Point blank period. So I'm like, yo, Coach Carly, you need to get on Clubhouse popping. You need to meet these people to stand the third. Coach Carly, like, in my head, when I bought the van, Coach Carly was going to be the one who was going to do my interior design because she has her Carly Creations. That was from day one in my head. And I was going to connect. I'm like, Coach Carly, it's money on this van life shit. I'm seeing how this van life shit popping on YouTube. Get your interior design ready. Get all this, that, and the third. And we're going to be out here popping. All right. I connected Coach Carly to some of the big time people. Like, I done met Crystal Vanner out there. Candace Love from Clubhouse. Again, Tiny Home Tours. Bree in the Seeker app. Diversified Van Life. That's Rachel Olaf. What's the old girl's name? I keep her mind. I'm looking at her and She go with Dustin. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Naomi. I'm sitting around all these people, and I'm like, Coach Carly, if you do this, we gonna be hitting. I like, Coach Carly, I just want a business partner. Like, let's be business partners when it comes to this van life shit. Coach Carly's like, I can't take on another business partner. I can't do that. I don't think it would be wise for me to take on another business partner. I'm like, oh, okay. That's weird. All right. Okay. But then less than a week later, Coach Carly calls me. She's like, Jay, what you think if I do a van life? She wanted to start selling van life products on her website and on her business. I'm like, Coach Carly, why? That don't even fit with you. I introduced you to van life. You know I'm trying to sell all this shit. You have the capital to move quicker than me, and you told me you don't want to be my business partner. So now I'm looking at Coach Carly like mad shady. Like, yo, you shady, sis. Like, huh? That don't even make sense to me. Like, you don't want to be my business partner. I'm putting you onto this van life. You ain't know shit about van life before I put you onto all this stuff, all these people. I'm helping her put up Mima has a high five Jesus. Like, what I also do on the side is I'm a social media consultant, and I help people structure their social media. I'll walk you through how to set things up and how to go live and how to put your content calendar together, how to legitimately, I was like, for Coach Carly and other people, like, I would legitimately take hours out of my day to do a Zoom call that we're sitting on Zoom, and I'm literally walking you through how I'm making all this stuff work, how you need to do this, how this, that, and the third. So I was doing that for her and Mima for her launch, her Mima's launch. But Coach hit me like, I don't want to be a business partner. Huh? That's suspect. I need to eat something. That's suspect. Okay. Still ain't never say nothing, because this is my mentor. This is my mom tour. I'm seeing how shady she moving, but all right. You done told me you don't want to be an admin in my Van Lifers Unite. You told me you don't have time for me and what I'm doing over here. But you got time to eat off of all the people that's coming to you now for your interior design stuff. All right. You told me you don't want to, you want to now branch out and do your own van life shit. That's shady, because you don't have shit to do with van life. Had it not been for me, you wouldn't have known about this. Okay. All right. So I'm trying to structure all these people, put this team together. I asked Coach to be a part of my team. She don't want to be a part of my team. So I have a board of people on this board, right? I got like, it's Bree in the Van Life app and her crew. Tiny Home Tours, that's Chris. It was more so just Chris. I was only dealing with Chris in Tiny Home Tours. He was on the board. I had this lady named Barb Rocks. I got to tell y'all the story about Barb Rocks. How that shit chow by. And I had like maybe 5 other people on the squad. So every Sunday I would ask them to meet so we could put together a plan of how I could get all this shit done, because Bree has now offered to pay $2,000 to help make this shit run. So I'm like, all right, well, if Bree give me $2,000, I could take a little bit and then pay the rest of my team to help us run this shit. But Bree telling me, don't say nothing to nobody. Don't say nothing to nobody. You need to cut some of the fat. You can't take all these people with you. This, that, and the third. Like, Bree on my end, on the back end. Like, I'm like, well, I can't say nothing to nobody. She's telling me I got to cut people off. Like, and I'm busting my ass trying to put together this proposal and all this shit. I got my business sensei on the line with me too. Like, my virtual assistant, we on the line trying to make this shit happen, because Bree said, all right, she said she can give us $2,000. I'll be able to get a little bit of money and I can pay my team. Two things happen. I'll address this first thing that happened, because this is quick. Clubhouse opened up that everybody could just instantly make their own clubs. I feel like that was the initial downfall of Clubhouse. Once you gave everybody the power to instantly make their own clubs, you're pulling audience from each other. So now everybody's trying to compete and have their own shit running, this, that, and the third. That's one. 2, the situation happened with Barb Rocks. So I met Barb because she, again, all these van life people, I'm meeting on Clubhouse. My club, although we didn't have the top numbers in van life, my club was the most consistent, and we had the top. Let me rephrase that. we did not have the most amount of members in my club. Of course, Diversified Van Life, Vaughn and Tiny Home, and then Tiny Home Tours, because they already have established this community in van life and schoolie living. So all their numbers on Clubhouse are booming. Their members are booming, but they're not running shows. So although I didn't have a high number of members, I had the most consecutive rooms a day. And we were running, when I'm telling y'all, it was like 200, 300 people in these rooms. Except like our single rooms, it wasn't popping like that. It was just more like fun. Like our singles and ready to mingle rooms was more fun. We had, so I would say for my daily show, I had numbers in there. And so all these different people are coming to me to talk this, that, and the third. So Barb is an opportunist. She sees that I have the Poppin'est Club on here. So everybody used to ask, like, Jay, can I do the room on the club? Can I do a room in your club? Can I do a room? And I'm like, all right, true. I'm like, everybody do what they wanted to do. Like, let's talk about what your ideas and we're going to rock out. So Barb puts up there, even on her profile, she has that she does her room in Van Lifers Unite, this, that, and the third. Something happened with herself and a young man named Johans. Johans was an artist out of LA, black dude. And again, all of us on Clubhouse, a lot of us don't know how to move on the business side of this shit. So we just going with the flow and trying to make all that shit work. Somehow they got in a private chat, and Barb wanted to buy a painting from old buddy. And this is again with business. He only charged her for the painting. I think he charged her maybe $60, $70 for the painting. Not factoring in how much it was going to cost him to have to mail it to her. So to send the painting cost him $100. And he only got paid. He didn't get paid. That's another thing. So Barb got hella money out here in these streets. If y'all go check her out, her Instagram page popping, her YouTube page popping, her cat's page is popping. And Barbie bragging on how much money she be having. Like, she had people to build out her whole Mercedes-Benz van, this, that, and the third. So when Johans was hitting me up a lot, and I wasn't getting back to him quick enough. So finally he's like, yo, sis, I need to talk to you. And I made the time to stop. He's like, I need you to be a mediator because I don't feel comfortable talking to her any longer. Like, she didn't pay me my money. Like, I sent her, like, he sent her in a little package. Like, he sent her, like, some chocolate and all this stuff. She wouldn't even send him the $60 for the painting alone. So she got the painting. She's like, oh, it's smaller than I expected. I don't really like it. I'm not going to give you that $100 for the shipping, which is, I mean, and I told this to him, like, all right, on the business side, she not entitled to give you that because it should have been in your package deal, which you should have offered from the door. So we did a whole mediation, this, that, and the third. She ended up sending him the painting back. Still not paying him for the painting. Sending him the painting back. And their relationship just dissolved. Something happened with Barbara, and there was a troll room under Diversified Van Life's group. So in this troll room, there were some guys that was in this room, and I guess they got on stage and they was mad at Barbara, or not even mad, they was just trolling. They were trolls. They were looking for some dumb trolling shit. So in this room, allegedly, the dudes told Barbara that she's a gentrifier. So Barbara had a whole hissy fit attitude. She did a whole Sharon Osbourne on these dudes. So much so she's inboxing Naomi from Diversified Van Life. Oh, this happened in your club. You need to be responsible for this. So Naomi's like, yo, just show me the proof. And I just, I'm out here handling other shit. Like, this shit ain't even, just show me the proof of whoever that you're talking about. I'll make sure I block them off the app and we'll move forward. Barbara made a whole big ass thing out of this shit. Like, calling up different people, like, just running with this shit. running just because these dudes call her gentrifier, bro. You get that mad about some shit because somebody called you something, more than likely you are that. Anyway, okay. So it gets back to me, and I'm like, all right, I got to address this because I don't feel comfortable with Barbara being a part of my team any longer. If she can Sharon Osbourne in this situation, I'm a black woman in America. I saw how she flipped the situation with Johans, black man in America. She instantly, oh, I don't feel comfortable. We were in a private room and you were flirting with me, this, that, and the thing. I'm like, Johans flirt with everybody. Don't nobody give a fuck about him. He got a girlfriend. Like, that shit ain't. But how quickly people flip on you. Quickly. So I just decided, yo, I can't fuck with this. Like, because if she flip on me, I'm different. I got a tongue and I'm a talk. And I'm a go. And I'm a rip. And I know motherfuckers are. White folks in America don't. Black folks in America can't take my fucking tongue. Like, when I let loose, if I'm at my boiling point, motherfuckers crying or really, really catching it because I'm going to say everything. So I'm like, let me just release this before it escalates to something way, 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 way bigger. So it's a Sunday. I'm standing on my patio down in Texas. Mind you, my board was Bree and her crew of the Van Life app. It was Chris of Tiny Home Tours, Barbara, and like maybe I'd say 4 other people that was on this board. It was 5 other people that was on the board. So we had a whole meeting because I had to address this situation. Come to find out, I get a phone call from Bree from the Van Life app right before I'm supposed to step into the Zoom call with the team. Bree hit me up, well, I can't be available for the call. It's just too much going on, and until you cut your fat, I can't be a part of this, but I support you completely, this, that, and the third. And I'm like, all right, well, Bree not going to be available for me. That's cool. I go on and have the meeting with my team and Barbara. When I tell you Barbara, Sharon Osbourne, that whole fucking situation, that whole meeting, when I tell you she was catching a fit, falling out, yelling and screaming, oh my God, like y'all don't. I'm like, Miss Barbara, but you did all of this. Like, you've been treating people like this is your reaction. I can't have you around me because it affects. It affects. It's going to affect. We not on the same path. She's like, oh, I got black friends. I'm like, Miss Barbara, clearly you don't have too many black friends because they're not even teaching you how to communicate. Like, anyway, long story short, it was like maybe a 2-hour meeting. Focus on that situation and how I had to remove from the group. Mind you, I didn't come to this conclusion by myself. I had 3 people that was on my team that was in, like, I was talking to every day on this business shit. That was Talia, Kyle, and Alex. And those were my 3 confidants that I was going through. Coach Crawley ain't want to be a part of it. The other black people that I invited to be a part of it, they never showed up for me. So I had these 3 people and I was talking to them and we were making all these moves. So it was my team that brought to my attention that Barbara was making fake profiles to come sit into the rooms and shit. Mind you, it was times before Barbara would not come to the room on time. Like, Barbara would wait till the last hour or so because she lived West Coast. So she wasn't waking up. She would say this, I'm not waking up early to come. That next Monday out of that meeting, Barbara was the first person in the room. She was up and ready, available. She sat in the crowd the whole time. I told her when the thing in, I don't feel comfortable with allowing you to have on your profile that you're running this show under my group. But I'm never going to, like, tell you can't come to the rooms and this, that, and the third. Yeah, you still come to the rooms, whatever. Like, but you can't do your show under my show, under my group. And just please take it from your profile. All right. Later on, that day I had another room welcoming the newbies. In that room was myself and Coach Crawley. And in these rooms, a lot of WNBA and NBA people and NCAA people would come through to these rooms. So there was somebody, I think what happened was I get a phone call from my 3 crew, and they're telling me how old girl is making false profiles to come sit in different rooms, like ghost profiles to come troll in different rooms. So I noticed in this room with myself and Coach Crawley, and it was a lot of WNBA people in there, and there was this ghost account, and they stepped on stage, and Coach Crawley's oblivious to everything because she's not knowing anything because she's just doing her own thing. So I'm trying to get this person to speak because they just in stage, just sitting on stage. So I'm trying to get this person to speak so I could hear. And mind you, I wasn't even the one that peeped it. My team picked, I think it was Talia and Cal that peeped it. They're like, yeah, that's Barbara. Like, bring her on stage and try to get her to speak this and the third. So I invited the person on stage to speak, and come to find out it was her. So at this point in time, I'm trying to let Coach Crawley, no, Coach Crawley, don't skip over this. I need to hear what this person is saying. Don't skip over her. Just hold on, wait. Come to find out it was her. We made up after that room closed. I had a meeting with the other 3. I was like, yo, all right. So they're like, yeah, we're going to have to, all of us, we just going to have to block her because clearly if she's doing stuff like this, clearly this is something more here. Mind you, on the back end, on her Instagram and Facebook, she kicking my back end. Straight kicking my back end. Oh, she this, that, and the third, blah, 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 whoop-de-woo. And I'm like, y'all just trying to protect myself from you and your Sharon Osbourne white woman victim shit. Like, I can't be a part of a black woman in America. A white woman can say something, could lie, could flat, blatantly lie on me, and they gonna always believe your ass over me. So I gotta remove myself from that shit. All right. So remove myself from that, ended up having to block her off. Come to find out, in the meeting before I was supposed to have, when I told y'all, Bree called me. Bree made it known to me. She was like, yo, and Chris, low key, don't trust everybody you come across. Be more discerning about the people that's in your energy. Bree told me straight up and down. I guess Bree got some beef with Naomi in the Versified Van Life. So Bree was like, yo, just watch yourself. I can't be around. It's some legal stuff. So all right, and I never kept digging. Once she said it was legal stuff, I left that shit alone. That's between you and her. I don't know what the fuck y'all got going on. That shit don't concern me. All right. So, this was the bullshit. Come to find out, Bree and Barbara are like that. Because I said to Bree, I was like, yo, Bree, I had to go ahead on and remove Barbara from the group. And I asked her to this, that, and the third. And I had to end up blocking her. This is when Bree decides to disclose to me. She's like, no, I can't do that. Barbara's a really, really good friend of mine. She's funded me this, that, and the third. Barbara got money. So I'm looking at Bree suspect as hell too. Like, Bree, you knew what time this was this whole time. That's why you said you couldn't come to the meeting. That's why you said you couldn't be a part of it. She your money. She your bank. So instead of you being completely real with me and telling me 100% what it was, you swept that shit on the rug and just removed yourself from me to handle the bullshit without you telling me the other bullshit. Like, you was quick to tell me the bullshit about this black woman over here, the Versified Van Life. You was quick to tell me that bullshit, but you ain't giving me the heads up about this shit over here. So now I'm looking at you, suspect. Okay. So, Bree and Barbara like that. Okay. That's when I was like, everybody in this lifestyle suspect is fuck. Like, fast forward, I'm busting my ass. I'm dealing with that shit with Barb. I'm dealing with this shit, trying to build out my van, trying to do shows. Mind you, Van Life is Unite, not the only one I'm doing shows with. I'm doing basketball, real hot takes, no hot talks, whatever the name of the group, the show was. with Daniel Artest, Zach and Kay. I'm doing healthcare professional meets with Dr. Cindy Duke, Dr. Catrice Austin, who's a celebrity dentist to the stars, Dr. Adebola, who's a dermatologist to the stars, Dr. Cindy Duke, who is Winston Duke's brother. I'm sitting at the table with all these people, right? So not only am I doing my Van Life Unite shit, I'm still doing, and I was doing shit with Rocky. Rocky popping on Instagram and social media. A lot of the business shit I learned was from Rocky and sitting in her rooms. Rocky works for Gary Vee on the social media stuff. So Rocky's mad, like, into it. So I'm getting mad knowledge and I'm doing all these shows. So, and I'm trying to put together this proposal to give to the Van Life app in order to get some type of income so I can continue to keep making moves. I get an email from, after I'm busting my ass trying to figure out all this stuff, after Bree telling me not to say nothing to nobody and don't disclose what we talk about and the $2,000 she was going to give me. I get an email from Bree after I bust my ass trying to figure out this proposal stuff. And it wasn't even from Bree. This would piss me off. It was from her business partner, saying that they don't think that they can do business with me because my ROI isn't high. Well, bitch, you knew that before you came to my table asking me, dangling this $2,000 in my head. You knew that. You knew that I was down here. I was scrapping from the beginning. No one had no big old van lifers. I'm just stepping into the, y'all knew I was newbies. So I sent another email back, and I sent an email back to her partner, and then I tagged her, and I was like, no disrespect to you, sis. This email shouldn't have came from you. It should have came from her if I was dealing with her this whole time. I got a problem with people dismissing. I got a problem with that shit. Don't play with me and then dismiss me. Don't do that shit. And then put me on to somebody else. Don't do that shit. If you woman enough to come to me and step to my table, then we going to finish this shit all the way out. Me and you, not nobody else. So I sent an email back to them. I sent the email to my sensei. She was like, because my sensei was on it. My sensei was taking out time out of her fucking time to help me do all this stuff. As she's still running Rising Tide Academy, as she's still doing different things and trying to deal with her family and things like that. So, Bree responded to that email. To this day, I never opened that email Bree responded back to me with. I never opened it. I think she offered me, like, yeah, she'll give me like $200 or something like that. I'm like, we ain't doing that, Bree. I'm good. I don't know if the contract didn't go through with her or what it was, but don't dangle shit over my head and then don't do that. So vastly, my time is approaching to leave Texas. All this is happening down in Texas. Vastly, and my band is still not done. Still not done. All I had connected was the 3 sunroofs, the 3 solar panels, my fan, the 2 batteries, and an inverter. Inverter wasn't set up right. Batteries wasn't set up right. Nothing was set up right. And it's vastly coming to April 1st. April 1st hit. I got to get out. I've downgraded all my stuff. I put things in storage. I've given things away. Now I'm ready to hit the road. I planned on going, once I left Texas, my plan was to just go west. Because I learned from Clubhouse that all the van life people, they are on the West Coast. Like all the big time builders, all that shit. Like the Steven dude came in to a couple of rooms. Who else came in? Other builders. Young Ike came in. I met veteran vans that came through the room. So I was making my way. Cam, I was going to meet up with Cam, my homie Cam. I was going to meet up with them to go west and go finish building out my van. My homegirl Taya was like, yo, Jay, well, stop in Kansas and go meet with Chris and the other guys up there before you go west. I wasn't even thinking about that shit. I honestly wasn't. I'm like, all right, yeah, I'll make that trip. I'll bust that, because it was only like maybe 6 hours away. So I'm like, all right, I'll go up to Kansas, say what's up to them, and then I'll dipset. I'll continue to go west, because I was supposed to be meeting a young lady in Arizona, and then from Arizona, we were going to go to Cali. I get to Kansas. I meet Chris. I don't even want to say this other man's name because he really is a piece of work. Just the treatment from this young man was on some other shit. What I'm learning about, I'm gonna hold that until, and I meet Chris, Rich, Cole, and Chris's right hand man, his best friend. I meet all of them up in Kansas. My thought was, I didn't even think, okay, so let me go back a little bit. From Clubhouse, I would just tell my dreams. Last year, before I got down there, I had it in my mind. I was putting together a trailer to do a reality TV show of all black 5 or maybe 7 black solo female travelers. And I was trying to pitch it to Ava DuVernay, BET, and Oprah Winfrey, and Tyler Perry. And I was trying to pitch this to them. In the interim, I was having conversations with Chris at Tiny Home Tours about my ideas and stuff. Fast forward, Chris has a reality TV show for female solo travelers. Mind you, again, me and Chris had this whole conversation in the back channel. Chris would swear up and down he never stole this idea. Chris, I know you did. You remember everything. I remember everything. You not dumb. You just covering yourself. That's cool. Whatever. So I get to Kansas and I see that Chris was going to do the TV show. And I ain't even sweat that shit. His whole audience is white, so I wasn't even stressing that shit. And Chris got the capital to make shit move quicker than I do. So I get to Kansas. Mind you, I didn't do the application. I didn't do the right application. My van wasn't done. So I never in a million years thought I would be picked to be on a reality TV show. I was telling everybody else, I'm like, yo, y'all got y'all vans done. Like, I'm throwing the lob to everybody else. Like, yo, y'all sign up for their stuff. Do this. I'm reposting it. Yo, sign up, y'all, this, that, and the third. Because my van wasn't done. I knew I couldn't fuck with Tiny Home Tours. My shit wasn't done. It wasn't. Like, I was sleeping on my... on my fucking, what was it? My crates. My, what do you call it? The big shits that you put your clothes and stuff. My totes. I was sleeping on that. So, get to Kansas. Chris is like, yo, did you put in your application? I'm like, yeah, I did the application last week. Come to find out the application I did wasn't the right application for the show. It was the application just to do a tour. So he was like, nah, do your video application. So that night, matter of fact, as I was driving up to Kansas, once I got to Kansas, I'm in the parking lot doing my application for the show. He was like, let me know when you uploaded this, that, and the third. I let him know. Still not thinking nothing of it. We hung out that night and had dinner and all that. Hung out with the guys. That next morning, Chris was leaving to go home to go kick it with his family for a month. This is when the guys come up to me and was like, Jay, we can't let you go out here floating like that. Your van look a mess. The dudes who did my electricity, like Cole straight up and down was like, yo, like, you could have blown up in this bitch. Like, they did not do this correctly at all. Like, not even a small amount. Like, it wasn't, shit was exposed. Like, it was bad. So the guys were like, we're not going to leave you out here hanging like that. We're going to help you build out your van. And then this is when they dropped the news that they were going to let me be on the show. I was the last person that they put, whatever. So I'm like, oh shit, thank you. Let's go. Fist pump, Breakfast Club, fist pump. They about to put all my dreams coming through and they're going to help me build my van again. And I was honest, I didn't know the extent because I didn't have, all my money went to buying the van and buying different equipment and things like that. So my money was very, very slim. And I'm saying to Chris, I'm like, yo, I don't really have it like that. I don't really know how y'all going to help me because my money's not really the longest right now. He's like, nah, we got you. Say less, we got you. We going to take care of it. What you mean y'all going to take care of it? Huh? Oh, no, we got you. And he didn't really say too much because he left to go to kick it with his family for a month. So all he said was, we got you. Just sit out tight. We going to take care of you. So for the first month I'm there, like I started seeing how anything is a cultural difference. One, I'm in Kansas. I ain't never been in Kansas. I think I played in Kansas. I think I played maybe in Kansas one time in college. But ain't nothing in college for me in Kansas for me to be up there with Dorothy and Toto and them. For fucking why? For fucking why? So it was very evident that culturally, these people had never been around a black person before. Extremely evident for me. And I'm blackity black, y'all. I'm from Newark, New Jersey. I got a whole, here's the thing. I have a whole degree from Fordham University. I know how to code switch, y'all. I ain't no dummy. I worked in corporate America for 10 years. I'm not a dummy. I know how to code switch. I no longer want to. Either you're going to accept me for who I am, or we don't need to be doing business together. Point blank the fuck, period. Like, I no longer have to code switch in corporate America. So this is what I'm thinking as I'm in Kansas hanging around these people. Like, yo, why the fuck I got a code switch just to kind of feel comfortable around these people? Like, I don't get this nomad living. They trying to show me how to be a nomad. Like, nomads like to do fires every fucking night. I'm not sitting out in the cold for a fucking fire, y'all. I don't want that shit. Not fun for me. It's not fun for me. I'd rather be in on Clubhouse in the heat, talking this network game, getting to this bag, communicating, running my mouth like that. I'm not a nomad. So I'm trying to learn how to be a nomad. I'm coming from, I had my own apartment for forever. I'm taking 2 or 3 showers a day. And nomad living motherfuckers might take a shower once a week. Like, this shit don't make sense to me. So I'm trying to figure all this stuff out. I'm trying to figure all this stuff out while I'm up in Kansas. And again, it's very relevant and it's very, what's the word I'm looking for? Evident that culturally, again, they weren't used to being around black people. Again, I say when I'm upset, I get loud. If my buttons are all the way pushed, I yell. I have to release that shit. I have to. Because that leaving it bottled up in here and only writing, that shit does not work for me. So I had to release. I need to be speaking to somebody to release all this frustration and anger and all this stuff I had. That didn't sit right with one particular man. This man is very sexist and low-key racist, and it did not sit right with him. And because I did not move the way he wanted me to move, he made that experience very, very uncomfortable. Like, I stopped going into the shop. Like, I stopped, like I just, clearly y'all don't fuck with me. Y'all don't agree with who I am. Y'all don't like who I am. Let me just be over here working on my shit. I didn't want to get in the way of building my van because I don't know what I'm doing. And now I don't feel comfortable going into the fucking shop. I don't feel comfortable being in there. This doesn't feel good for me. So I'll just stay. At that point in time, I was staying in Chris's schoolie. I'll just stay in the schoolie. I'll just work on my computer. I'll work on Clubhouse. I'll keep doing my lives, this and the third. The guys, I won't be in y'all space. Clearly, you don't like that I'm loud. You don't like the music I listen to. Which I started putting them on because now if you watch all the rich and cold shit, they got mad hip-hop in their shit. Like, I'm putting them on the hip-hop. Like, I'm schooling them. These motherfuckers ain't even know who reggae was. Like, the only reggae artist they was listening to is the white boy from fucking Staten Island. I'm like, yo, how y'all only patronize this white motherfucker? Like, how? He don't even know the culture of reggae. Like, name me one reggae artist that's not fucking Bob Marley. Like, come on, just do your homework. Step outside. This is what my problem. Step outside of your comfort zone and real life do the history. Real life patronize the fucking where the culture comes from. Don't just patronize motherfuckers that look like you who's biting off of the fucking culture. Don't do that. That was my beef with some shit. Okay. And then 2, I started seeing how I wasn't being on social media. Like, they weren't engaging with my shit, I should say. But on their vlog, on the shop vlog, they saying how, oh, they're helping me build out Tootie. They helping this, that, and the third. Never introducing their audience to who I am. Never showing them, oh, this is Jada, this, that, the third, this, that, and the third. Follow her here, this, that, and never making that transition. But you're using my van and using my likeliness for something to make it look like y'all give a fuck about black people and give a fuck about, okay, cool. It was other shit, like every day they would eat burritos. Mind y'all, I was broke the first month I was up there, y'all. I ain't have a dime. No unemployment, no no grants was coming through. I had nothing. So they would go get food and literally walk by me and not ask if I was hungry. Cause I no longer felt comfortable to go into the shop. Like I didn't feel comfortable in there. Like he had already kicked me out because I was fussing with a young lady from Clubhouse who was on Clubhouse. Literally got mad at me because I put up a boundary. I said, no, I don't like how you speak to me. I'm not going to allow you to use my platform and continue to treat me like shit. And what these white women did was literally start harassing me because I said, no, time out. Full time out. I need a full ref. Full time out. No. So I was about to have a meeting and I got a call from one of the team. Tanya was like, yo, have you been on such and such Instagram, this, that, and the third? I'm like, nah, I don't even engage because I had a meeting for something else. And she's like, don't get mad, but she's texting you, tagging you, and calling you out, this, that. And I wanted to go back on live and start blasting this chick. My whole squad, the whole team, Jay, don't say nothing, don't let it upset you. What the fuck? Y'all be so quick to say don't say nothing, but you bring this to my table. Huh. So that whole conversation I was having it in the shop on the phone. So old buddy kindly comes up to me, yeah, could you take that out there? I don't want that energy in my shop. You got one time to kick me out of someplace. You got one time. And I'm going to take the hit. And from that day forward, I wasn't comfortable in that fucking shop. No. I wasn't just kicking it. I wasn't just sitting up under these motherfuckers because they, again, in YouTube land, they somebody. In real life, I don't know who the fuck these people are. They people. They just people. So I wasn't ever sweating them like that. Never ever was I sweating them like that. Never. Even once I started learning who the fuck they was, I still wasn't sitting up under their face. I ain't like that. I've been around athletes my whole fucking life. Like, I am an athlete. I ain't never been too starstruck like that. Not like that. So I started learning how it was people that would come to me like, oh, jealous that I was sitting on campus with these guys and they was working on my van and I got to kick it with them. Not knowing the back end, not knowing how I would be walked past, like, on purpose not taking my burrito order so I wouldn't eat. On purpose, leaving my order out. On purpose. Like, okay. On purpose, like, it was so much, what is the microaggressions? I'm trying to think of the term but I experienced that living as a black woman around these people. And it was more so just from one person. So until Chris came back, hey, good morning. Until Chris came back, I wasn't around. Chris comes back after being out with his family kicking it. And Chris and I had a good, in my head, good relationship. Like, I could talk to Chris. Like, this was the homie. Like, Chris was putting me on to books, stocks. Although he took my idea, he had enough kindness to put me on the show. He had enough kindness to have his team build out my shit for me. Like, I thought this was my homie. Like, I thought this was my homie, for real. This man purchased my Van Life is Unite website and all that shit. I never asked this man for nothing. I ain't asked him for nothing. I never asked him for anything. He just was showing up for me. Just straight showing up for me. And once he got back on campus, and like, when I tell y'all, it wasn't until he came back on campus that I felt comfortable to even go in the shop. And I only went in the shop when he was on campus. I wasn't just hanging out. And even when he was on campus, I wasn't in the shop because I was in the schoolie busting down work. Like, working on my website, working on my my courses, my e-courses that I still need to release, working on little books and things I'm writing, working on I do screenwriting. Like it's mad shit I'm working on that I want to put out to the public. So I never really was around them like that. I honestly wasn't. I was to my fucking self. I was to myself. So once Chris came back on campus, like I would feel comfortable kind of venturing out to hang out with them a little bit more. Like I wasn't beat to be sitting at the fire like when Rich and Cole would do fires every night. Like I really wasn't around. Like I wasn't. Like I was pushing my agenda. Like I was trying to get my shit together. Like trying to figure all this shit out. I would start venturing out a little bit more when Chris came around. He made me feel more comfortable. I realized that somewhere within all of this, I started catching a little crush on Chris. I wasn't used to a man legitimately going hand over fist for me and not asking for anything back. That man ain't never asked me for nothing back. Not no, y'all women, y'all know who it is. If a dude give you $20 for something, he might want some head or some shit like that just on the strength of him giving you something. Or some shit like, I'm just making an example. So I wasn't used to somebody just giving me something and not wanting anything back in return. So my little emotions and feelings got caught up. I was the last person to sign my contract to be on that television show. Reason why, I realized that I had a little crush on this dude. I didn't want to fuck up business. So I'm like, yo, I'll walk away from this show. I know you're not interested in me. I apologize for these feelings that I had came up. I'm going to have to learn how to deal with it. He wasn't the first dude that turned me down. Motherfucker, like, come on. As many dudes that turned me down, I got other motherfuckers in it that's ready to do whatever the hell I need. So whatever. I just knew I needed to work on my feelings. He don't want me. All right, cool. We on this business. That's what that is. I asked him before I signed the contract to be on the show because I didn't want no bullshit. He said, I'm not feeling you like that. I still want to work with you because I believe that everybody needs somebody. Everybody needs people. And had it not been for the people that helped me, I wouldn't be out here doing what I'm doing. Okay. So mind you, I was going to be the only black girl on this show. If y'all go over there and look at everything they do, a lot of this shit they do is majority white. Majority white. Majority white. I signed a contract. I went, at this point in time, they're announcing the people that's going to be on the show, this, that, and the third. And they did a takeover. So I was the first person to do the takeover for their Instagram. While I'm in there, because I'm responding back to different people, this, that, and the third, I come across a message from a young lady who's cursing them out. Like, cursing them out. She was a Latina, I believe. And she was a part of the LGBT community. So this young lady was cursing them out. Like, don't you dare ever use my likeliness, my image, or anything without asking me. Nothing you guys do promotes who I am. Absolutely nothing. And I'm reading these messages that this young lady is kicking back to the team at Tiny Home Tours. So the team goes back and was like, yo, we're a half black owned company. We apologize for this, that, and the third. So they ended up taking that off. They ended up making adjustments. Okay. So Juneteenth rolls around. I'm not there because I'm back in New Jersey trying to get my hair done, trying to get my, what else did I need to get done? Why did I go to New Jersey? My business stuff, because I had to re-up my business stuff, and I had to do my P.O. box, I believe. I needed to check my P.O. box. So I ended up going back, and on my way back, I was going to make stops because I needed to pick up. At that point in time, my van was done. So I needed to pick up my headboard from Coach Crawley. And I was going to pick up 2 other young ladies that was going to take the trip back to Kansas so we could be featured on the show and give more flavor to this whole whitewash world they got up there. Everything that could have went wrong, went wrong. Like my van, I needed something, ended up costing me mad money with my van. Something under the hood. I had to find a mechanic for that when I was back at home. Thank God it happened when I was back at home because I was able to maneuver and go to all the people that let's talk this talk. I don't really got. So everything that could have happened happened. My debit card wasn't working and kept putting a hold on my debit card. Every stop I stopped at to get gas, they put a hold on my debit card. I'm like, y'all, this not even my first time traveling in my van. Like, why are y'all blocking? Like, everything that could have happened. Get back on campus. Again, I'm already feeling like they don't engage with my audience. They don't engage with me. They not reposting none of my shit. Although they gave me access to the takeover, they're still not engaging with my audience or me. So I'm not making no business connections from these people or nothing like that. So I had this idea to have a Juneteenth dinner. If y'all claim it to be a half black owned company, let's bring some black culture to y'all audience. I got this schooly chef over here. She's a part of the community, had been reaching out to these people for help. I didn't know this until later on. So brought them back on campus and she cooked up this whole Juneteenth meal. Any other time, Chris made sure there was cameras always running. Cole was the director, the movie guy, the camera guy. Chris got his camera crew. Even when Kev did a show at Kev is the one who legitimately built my van. I fuck with Kev. I fuck with Kev heavy. And Kev a rock star. Like, Kev a real life rock star. Like, this motherfucker was rocking out. Like, I was into it. Like, okay, Kev. Like, made sure the cameras was there and everything. So when the Juneteenth dinner came, I set it up, all that stuff. Mind you, I was on campus for 3 months. 3 months I was on campus, right? And I'm waiting to do a podcast with them. Waiting to do a podcast. Like, yo, when y'all gonna put me on the podcast? Like, what's goody? No podcast. Yo, when y'all gonna say my name? Because clearly y'all, like somebody at y'all see, your audience sees me on your vlog, but y'all still haven't introduced your audience to who I am. Clearly your audience is asking, yo, who that black girl? Because I'm the only black girl. Yo, who that? Who in the background? Still ain't introduced me to your people, nothing like that. This where this shit came to a head. So I get back on campus. There's another young lady there that I met from Clubhouse. And we're in the Airbnb. And I hear Chris say to her, oh, you ready for the podcast tomorrow? Some just chopped liver? I've been sitting up here for 3 months working for you. And I can't get the podcast that you promised me? Y'all not engaging with my audience. I'm just chopped liver. Like, why the fuck am I here? Like, this is when they say, yo, I'm being used. Like, I'm being used. This shit don't have nothing to do with me. This shit to make them look good. Like, I'm a charity case. I'm the token black girl on this TV show now. Like, I'm like putting all this shit together. They never brought their cameras out to do the Juneteenth. I'm like, yo, how y'all ain't bring y'all cameras? Like, y'all bring y'all cameras for everything fucking else. Y'all tagging everything for everything fucking else. You know how social media work. I'm talking to the big man. You know how social media work. And we can't get no love. I see how your team was treating me on the back end. But then did I think that they was going to do that shit to other people that... All right, so this where that shit just hit. That night, y'all, when I tell you, I ripped Chris. I ripped into him on email. I ripped into him. Like, just putting out everything. I did. Like, yo, like, this shit don't feel good to me. Like, I feel like I'm being used. I feel like y'all legitimately don't give a fuck about me, but only using me to make this shit, like, it did not set well with me. And then knowing that the next day that they was going to do a podcast with this young lady, and I've been like, come on, like, all right. So he called me that next morning. I sent him the voicemail. He called me a couple of times. Sent him the voicemail. I go on campus. He's back at where his schoolie is parked at doing the podcast with old girl from Clubhouse. I'm on campus. His right hand man comes up to me. I walked inside the shop to go get some of my stuff out. Old buddy don't say hello or nothing. The first thing he's like, "Oh, when are you leaving?" I didn't even say nothing to him. I didn't say anything to him. I legitimately I looked him in his face and I walked out. And I walked out. Said nothing to him. Because I saw his little devil horns sticking out. This man is a devil. Got a voodoo doll on his fucking school bus. Come on, y'all. Let's be for real. Let's call a thing a thing. So I just walked away. I ain't say shit. Old buddy back he doing the podcast. I'm still feeling emotional. Like, I'm sending him messages like, yo, stop playing with me. Like, stop playing with me. Like, you got me up here. You trying to play me like I'm the crazy, angry black woman now. Like, I didn't endure all of this different stuff. And all I'm asking y'all is to not use me, but actually engage with me and my audience and put my people on. Y'all claiming to be a half black company. Why don't we see more black people on your channels? Why don't we see more black people on your podcasts? Why don't we see... His thing was like, it's not many that black people out there. Bullshit, y'all don't engage with us. Point blank, period. So, they had already decided to kick me off the show from that incident. They decided to kick me off the show. They told me that I would come back the next season and they would give me this, that, and the third. I can have a takeover under his Zeppelin travels, this, that, and the third. I was like, okay, fine. Y'all kick me off this first season. Cool. My van is still done. I still got something out of it I did not think was going to happen. All I need from y'all to do is put it in writing. Put it in writing. I go on about my way. We'll revisit this next year when I'm outside and I'm separating myself from all this shit. They didn't want to put nothing. They wanted to put nothing in writing. The only thing they put it in writing for me, they wanted me to sign a gag order and telling me to get off the property. I said, no, we can put this in writing because what you're telling me is something that's different than what you're saying to me. Put it in writing. Okay. And didn't want to put it in writing. Comes back to me the next day and says, if you don't sign this waiver, then you're a liability on our property. Once this half black man came and said that I'm a liability on this property in rural Kansas, oh, I gotta go. Let me go. These white folks don't play fair. Let me go. Because anything can happen. And then it comes back. That's a lie. I have seen lots of black man lifers and mostly females. I know this, and this is what I'm saying to them. Y'all just not engaging with us. So point blank, period. They made a deal with a company out in Wisconsin that was going to do my electricity. And they were only going to charge me $500 to do all of my electricity and wiring and stuff. Because my whole van was built. The van, thank God to the people, my van and shit was built. And shit was taken care of. They made a deal with these other people that I would drive to Wisconsin. They would do my electricity for $500. And then that was the end of the contract in their mind. That was the end of it. Again, all I did was ask them to put the shit in writing, what they were saying to me. Put it in writing. I go on about my way. Again, we'll revisit this. They didn't want to do that. Fast forward, I'm driving to Wisconsin. As I'm driving to Wisconsin, I'm just venting on social media like, yo, this not cool. I don't feel like I was treated like shit. Like, this not cool. I get an email from Chris's team member because I ended up emailing everybody. Like, just telling them everything about how I was feeling, how this, that, and the third, and how I kept saying to them, like, yo, this is happening to me. This is happening to me. I don't feel comfortable. This is happening. I get a message back from his team member asking me, well, when did something change? I was like, yo, y'all dismissive as hell, and y'all don't want to make a difference. Y'all don't want to. Before they tried to kick me off the show, I said, this is the prime opportunity right now to change the narrative. I said, y'all can keep me on the show this year and we tell the real life story of everything that happened, and we can change the narrative and show real life growth between two cultures, completely different cultures, and real life growth. That wasn't their idea. They wanted me the fuck out of there. It was on some get out for real, for real. So I drive all night, all night. I want to say it was like 16 hours to get to Wisconsin, maybe 11 to 16 hours to get to Wisconsin. And that next day, I'm not even on social media because I'm legitimately in here in the shop with the guys, and we're working on my electricity. So later on that night, I sent another email after my electricity and stuff is done. I sent an email back to his business partner responding to her email. That next morning, I guess that night she sent me an email. I didn't check the email because, again, why am I talking to you? I've been dealing with him. I don't even need to talk to you. I legitimately only included you in this conversation because I don't know what they're going back telling you. But as a team, I'm going to tell all of y'all my perspective of this. So the next morning, they released a statement on me saying that I sexually harassed this man, and that's why they kicked me off the show. I started just putting out all the evidence I had. Like, I just started putting out everything, like the text messages, all that shit, this, that, and the third. So I get a cease and desist email from them saying that I can't say anything negative about their company. Okay. All right. Based on what, though? The contract that y'all null and voided 2 weeks ago when y'all kicked me off the contract, off the show? Like, anyway, fast forward. I don't fuck with these people anymore. And it's sad because I honestly felt like I had a friend in Chris. I felt like I had a friend and a mentor. Fuck, he ain't like me like that. Okay, again, okay. One, he not really my type. I like big ass football players. He not my type. I like big ass men. Football, basketball players, that's who I fuck with. I like big men. He's not that. So for me, for them, it really wasn't, once I got over that shit, I was, all right, shit happens. You get fucking, I'm over that shit. Now I'm about this business. I'm over that shit. Now we talking about this business shit. Okay, so now I'm on this business. I'm in business mind. I'm in go mode. Long story short, I don't fuck with them no more. I have heard that they have been incorporating more people onto their channel, Tiny Home Tours. Thank you. That's all I asked y'all to do from the jump. If you claim to be a half black man, and I started talking to him like this in front of his white homeboy, black man, then incorporate us more. Why don't you know what Juneteenth is? Why don't you have something on your site for Juneteenth? Why don't you have more black people on your site? Why don't you this, that, and the third? Why don't you set up a program that you bring in a black builder that could come in and learn these same skills that y'all teaching these white people? So just share the love. Share the love. Engage with the black audience. Fuck with us. Real life fuck with us. Don't just keep taking from us and don't just fuck with us for real. Engage with us. Let's change the narrative at this point. They wasn't beat. They kicked my black ass out of there on some straight get out. Fast forward. I'm just putting this all in. Like, I really don't have any malice or anything towards them. Like, I let this shit go. I got a van out of this. I have a home. And that's another reason why I wasn't posting a lot about my van life journeys and tours, because I didn't feel comfortable in my van. It didn't feel like home for me. Like, it didn't. I wasn't excited about this shit anymore. After that shit with them, y'all, it probably took me a good 3 months. The 3 months that I stayed up there, it probably took me, so July, August, September, it probably took me those 3 months to get over that shit. Like, real life. And that's why I wasn't posting anything. That's why I wasn't telling any stories. That's why I wasn't, like, it really emotionally took a lot out of me. Especially when I'm dealing with people who I trusted. Who I was going to bat for these motherfuckers. I'm like reposting, I'm bigging them up, I'm this, that, and the third. I'm connecting them with mad different black people to work with. I'm doing all this shit. That messed me up. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, even further. Because of I got to sit at the table with all these people on the back end, and I'm seeing how they move in real life. Like, I'm like, damn, do I really want to be a part of this fucking van life community? This schoolie community? Do I really want to know these motherfuckers? Like, motherfuckers are weird. Like, fucking weird. I know I'm weird as fuck. Like, I understand. I get it. I'm weird as fuck. Like, awkward black girl. Issa Rae. If y'all don't know who Issa Rae is, please do your homework. Please educate yourself who Issa Rae is. If y'all go back and watch her web series, Awkward Black, the misadventures of the awkward black girl, that's fucking me. Issa Rae, her, that insecure with her in the mirror rapping and shit. Yo, I'm fucking weird. Like, I get this about myself. So, not to say anything about the weirdos out there, we all out here striving, but let's real life commune and real life make a difference. So fast forward, I'm out here floating, trying to figure out this nomad shit. Yo, awkward black girl was the shit, Virgo Rose. Awkward black girl was, and you a Virgo too. What up, sis? That shit was the shit. This is pre-insecure. This is how Issa got put on. This is how Issa got put on. When I tell you that shit is hilarious, and it's not HBO because she ain't had the money for it back then. This is just her grinding. So that shit was the shit. This would made her get the HBO. This would made her up. See, you awkward too. So, yo, you would fucking love that show, Virgo Rose. You would love it. I promise you that. It's on her website because it started as a web series. And also, if you're going to fuck with Issa Rae and the awkward black girl series, check out it was another company, they were doing mad black web series. Black and Sexy, baby. Black and Sexy Television. Go check out their old web series shit too. They had mad dope shit, like 3 or 4 different. The Number, Cupid, the one with the dudes. They had mad different content too. So go fuck with them too. But why did I say all of that? Oh, I'm weird, awkward. Although my idea was taken, I don't give a fuck. I'm still going to keep pushing forward and still try to put out the content that I want to put out. I'm going to go back a little bit to maybe last week, 2 weeks ago. So the same young lady who is a schoolie chef, and I took them back to Kansas, and she was kind of the mediator between everything that hit the fan that Juneteenth and that whole little weekend. I stopped by her a couple of weeks ago, and I've been trying to connect her with different builders and things like that, trying to like, cause her school, but she had her school bus before me. Like she had been following these people for years and reaching out to them for help. So I stopped by her house and I tried to get a podcast with her. The podcast was dry as hell, y'all. I was tired. I was driving all day long. I couldn't keep my eyes open. I couldn't even really think about the content. The lighting was wrong. It was wrong. Fast forward, I connected her with my Greek George. If you watch my first season of Van Life Tour, Greek George was originally supposed to help me build out my van, but Greek George wanted $10,000, and I didn't have $10,000 because everything I put down, I saved up from that damn unemployment and put down as a down payment for Tootie. So that's why I was doing everything myself, DIY. I don't have the money to pay these builders. But all the different builders I would meet from Clubhouse and all these different people, I kept trying to connect her with these people to help her get her school bus finished. A couple of weeks ago, I connected her with Greek George. I forgot Greek George was going out of the country to go travel. So he's not going to be here. I simply said to this lady, I said, damn, my bad, because I was in a group text. I had George and old girl in a group text together. I said, damn, my bad, George, I forgot you was going out the country. I said to the schoolie chef, I said, if you still fuck with them, go back and ask them, meaning Tiny Home Tours, go back and ask them for help to complete your school bus. You need your shit done. You said you still fuck with them. Common sense to me would be, get your shit done. And yo, when I tell you this lady went on a whole rant of how I need to let that shit go, this, that, and the third. You ain't never stopped their money. You this, that, and the third. You not even that important. Yo, she was ripping me, like ripping me all night long, yo. Like, I was trying to catch a nap and get up and do my gaming. She's sending me texts. She's sending me prayers on Instagram, all this shit. I stopped responding to her. I got on Clubhouse. I was on Clubhouse talking to my Winbay. Hey, Winbay. He igging me too. It's okay. But he be in my... Anyway, I'm going to leave that alone. But I was on Clubhouse kicking it with Winbay, his mother, his sister, and a whole group of other people. Winbay's birthday was last week too. Happy birthday, Winbay. Let me turn that off. So the next morning, it's like 6 o'clock in the morning before I even go back to respond. And I hadn't even been asleep because I was up all night on Clubhouse kicking it. So I just responded back to the email. And I ended up blocking her on everything. Well, almost everything. So then, around like, I got up maybe like I went to sleep probably I sent the message at 6. I probably went to sleep at 6:30. I feel like I got up at 8 o'clock. And when I opened up my email, she was like, yo, don't send my name since we doing this. Don't use none of my content. Don't ever say my name. If you do, legal action is going to be taken. I'm like, sis, you doing me a favor. Because honestly, the content was dry as fuck. I wasn't going to have time to edit that shit because I'm now working with, I'm a sports marketing and entertainment manager for another company. And I'm also doing my own thing. So like I went to the OTE game, WNBA games, red carpets. That's what I need. As soon as I get off of this, I'm going to get off of his and get to my calendar and get to these deadlines for media shit that I need to be on for next year, for 2022. Different concerts. I still want to go down to Art Basel. I want to go to South by Southwest, put in my media shit for that. I want to go to, of course, the Grammys, Oscars. I want to go to the ESPYs. So I need to be putting in all these applications as soon as I hang up off of this. So I was like, real life, like I ain't even on that shit no more. I've moved forward in my life. Like I figured this shit the fuck out. Like I'm trying to make this shit work. She's ripping me. So I sent her a final email. Like, don't worry about it, sis. Wasn't going to use it. Shit was dry. I really don't have the time. I just did something with Rutgers that I need to edit. Rutgers men's basketball that I need to edit and put up for coach. Like, I real life been making moves out here. Like, my shit ain't never stopped. Like, although I've been low-key on YouTube and Instagram and shit like that, my shit ain't never stopped. Like, I'm still out here getting clients. I'm still out here making moves. Like, I'm still out here getting shit done. I'm not even thinking about, like, finally, thank God I released the energy. Like, my heart was broken after that situation with them. My heart, after Tiny Home Tours, after the Van Life Act, my heart was broken. Like, I didn't feel like there was good people in its community. My heart was broken. So it took me some time to get over that shit. And I was finally over it, but this woman is now telling me that I'm not. Nah, sis, you're not going to put that on me. I simply said to you, you need your band done. You still fuck with them. Go get your schoolie done. Go get your schoolie done so you could be out here running these streets. Clearly, every fucking builder I'm connecting you to, they can't help you. So go to the motherfuckers that can directly help you. That's all I said to her. And then she just started going in on me. Oh, you ain't never stopped they bag. You ain't that important. You need to be better than that and evolve. I'm like, bitch, I've been evolving. I've been to Phoenix. What the fuck is you talking about? As you talking all this shit, I'm over here kicking my game trying to get Winbay to real life take me seriously out here in these streets. Winbay, stop playing. You know we got that connection. Stop playing, Winbay. Come on. Just let me get one. Let me get an interview, Winbay. Let me get an interview. If you don't want to be with me, fine. You still want love and fuck with me. Motherfuckers, even if this is what I know about. Dudes cannot be attracted to me, but they still fuck with me. Not on negative, they still love my energy. They still be, and that's people, period. Like, it's people that still gang stalking my shit, that's watching my shit, that don't really fuck with me, but they fuck with me. So Winbay, we gonna make it work Winbay. But I'm just trying to get an interview at this point, sir. Clearly you don't want me. So anyway, but yeah, that situation with her, And now I'm just trying to, because honestly, the only people in van life that I feel like are legitimately have shown me that they're pretty cool, that they haven't shown me as another face of them yet. I would have to say Candace Love, who's now, she just released a video saying that she stepped away from van life. I got to meet her in real life. This is the same woman that I was last year, 2 years ago. I was watching all her videos, like having anxiety attacks. Like, yo, I can't even watch her shit. Like, because the anxiety was up. Like, I just wanted to be out in the streets. Like, yo, Candace, where you at? I'm pulling up. Like, so I couldn't even watch my shit when my van wasn't done. Because my anxiety was high. But now my van done, and I'm real like, Candace, you in my hood. You stay in North more than I be in hood North. Shout out to Doc Dilla. Her boo. I don't know if they real life married or spiritually married. I'm trying to figure it out. I don't really know. But Candace Love, Rachel and Zoloff. Zoloff more so. I don't really talk to Rachel too much. Anais, I need to hit her up from Diversify Van Life. She's popped in my head twice. Naomi's doing her. Naomi was overseas, so I don't know where kind of Naomi's been doing like more business and traveling, things like that. But I don't have a beef with Naomi. She seemed cool as fuck to me, despite what Bree said about her at the Van Life app. I never saw anything. I don't know what this shit was, but those people right there for right now, they have not shown me any type of weirdness, I should say. Again, Candace and her and Docs, like, I don't understand their love. I don't know if they're real life married or if they're on the spiritual thing. Because I know they said once that they're like in an open relationship. And they refer to each other as husband and wife. But I don't understand. And it's not for me to understand. I support what the fuck they do. I don't got to lay next to neither one of them. So, hey, y'all, I'm with it. Y'all fuck with each other. I love it. I'm with it. Docs, thank you for bringing this Houston girl to North New Jersey, getting her that North New Jersey swag. Like, thank you, Docs. Like, she fell in love. They doing their whole meditation in life and mental elevation and spiritual growth and breathing and all that stuff. They killing the social media game. You putting Docs on, he killing it now too. But yeah, I don't really, what I will say for myself is this. And a lot of my team that I work with Van Lifers Unite, a lot of them got mad at me because I blocked them on social media. So it came to a head when I realized that I was asking my team for far too much that they couldn't give. And I felt like I was becoming a burden on them. So I blocked a lot of them. Like, when I go into hermit mode, I go into hermit mode and I block people. Like, I block them from my social media. I block them from my auras, from calling my phone, because I need to figure this shit out. It don't be personal to them, but if I feel like I'm being a burden on somebody, prime example, okay. One of my exes, I call him Quincy McCall. I know I really, really am emotionally attached to this man, and I don't need to be on his social media at all. Like, I don't need to see his shit. I'm going to want him. I'm going to physically, emotionally want this man. So I block him. I block him. Like, I can't do it. Engineer guy that I blocked him. Like, he was just toxic. Nah, I had to block you, sir. We don't need to do this. We don't need to do this again. But people nowadays get offended when you block them on social media. So here's Coach Crawley went back to Talia because Talia felt the way because I blocked my team. Again, I blocked Talia because Talia was one of the main people like, yo, sis, come to me. I got your back. You don't need to be doing this. Because I was trying to appease to everybody and be kind and all that stuff. And while these people kicking my back in, talking this, that, and the third, kicking my back in on social media, have their other friends gain stock in my rooms on fucking Clubhouse. Girls who love travel, Haley and them that used to just come in on some old bully shit. Like, y'all gonna miss me with this dumb shit on social media. Like, Because if y'all see my 6'1" ass locks down my back, in real life, y'all not going to do none of that shit. In real life, and I'm from North, y'all, I ain't going to hold y'all. Like, I have a hand and mouth issue. This is why I block people. I understand who I am. I've been dealing with me for years. They are. Gang stalkers are cowards because they only get together and talk shit amongst each other and only do that shit in public on social media apps and shit like that. In real life, them motherfuckers wouldn't, what Jay said, you wouldn't bust a grape in a grape fight. I deal with them motherfuckers myself. Sis, you know, these motherfuckers are cowards. They still gang stalk me. The motherfuckers gang stalk me from, I'm sure they tiny home tours to make sure I'm not talking bad against them. So they, like, huh? Okay. So, why did I say all of that, y'all? I'm trying to figure out this nomad shit. I'm trying to get my excitement back in the nomad community and actually collaborating with different. I gotta say, who else? Captain Good Vibes. I need to hit him up. Captain Good Vibes, good people. Uncle Dave, good people. Ethan, good people. Who else? Veteran Vans, who just opened up a shop in San Diego. Good people. Who else? Damn, I had somebody else on my head. I can't think right now. But are still good people in the van life community. I'm just trying to get wrap my head around all this shit. Like, I'm trying to have the excitement again and the love again of this van life shit. And I'm not gonna lie to you, the freedom, a lot of my anxiety from the beginning of my journey came from the idea of legitimately having this much freedom in the world that I don't have to have a place where I call home. But on the flips, that fear is, damn, where am I sleeping tonight? I'm just gonna pull over on the side of the road and catch a nap. Am I safe? I'm in the South. Is that gonna be safe? Black woman in America, that's gonna be safe. So a lot of my fear came from that from the beginning. I'm learning how to deal and cope with it more, like schedule shit out. Toyin with Outdoorsy Black Women. Download that app. Who else? It's some people out here that I haven't had a bad experience with, and there's others that I have, but I'm just trying to make it make sense. So I know I was supposed to drop episode 2 today. I mean season 2 of Van Life Tour, Jada J's Van Life Tour. Reality is Slip Cut Media, everything's open back up. So Slip Cut Media is very, very busy. And I did have another homeboy with New Jersey Media that was supposed to be helping me out. The funding, I don't have the grants that I'm still applying for different grants, business grants, because I do have Don't Judge My Life Media LLC. I'm applying for different loans and things like that, business loans, credit and all that stuff, trying to get my credit up. Trying to make this media shit really, really pop for myself. I ended up working with a guy I got to hit back right now. I came down. I covered one event. My homegirl was scared, too. It was her son's football game. And I'm like, I ain't about to just be sitting in the stands watching no fucking football. Like, I'm not. Like, I follow Tiff is cool. She gives tips on campground subscriptions, where she stays year round. Yeah, Tiff, I try to connect Tiff with Tiny Home Tours because they kept saying that they didn't have any black people. But Tiffany got up with somebody else. I see that she just wrapped her first television show a couple of months ago. It's another it's Miss Deb on YouTube. She popping out here on Van Life shit. Miss Deb popping. It's an older lady. She popping on YouTube. I see her YouTube popping. And another young lady with locks. She's out in Australia right now. I don't know her name. I can't remember her name off the top of my head. But she's in Van Life too. I met the couple. I forget their names. Nocturnal Vibes. I think that's their handle. but they seemed cool. Um, yeah. So I'm trying to figure it all out and get this shit together. Make this shit make sense. And with that being said, I know I owe y'all season two. Season two might look a lot different because the media team that I had, one is really, really booked, and the funding that I need to produce season two, damn near 3 G's. So it's either me learn how to use Premiere Pro or Final Cut Pro or Adobe, whatever it is, and spend hours editing, or I get my money up and pay other people to do all that hard work for me, and I get my team up. So now I'm trying to get a real team around me. And even I'm questioning myself, am I a good leader? I don't know. I don't know if I'm a good leader or not, y'all, because I talk, when I'm on business, I'm going to talk hard. And you're going to have to get out your little fucking emotions and feelings, and we're going to have to get to this work. Like, skip over how hard I'm speaking and get to the meat of it. Coach Carly used to tell me this. She said, people eat meat for the nutrients, like, and spit out the fat. I'm like that. You gonna have to chew me and maybe spit out my fat. My fat is my harshness of my tongue. My fat is, when I'm on business, I'm going. And I'm a Virgo. I'm detailed. I'm on bitch mode sometimes because if I see a vision and I want to get that shit done, then I'm trying to get that shit done. Like, I'm trying to get it done. So a lot of people in white America, a lot of people, my teammates from, I just did a meetup with my teammate. I need to release the content too. I stopped in to meet up with my teammate from college, my Brazilian bombshell. Vanessa VP couldn't stand me my senior year in college. We were both seniors together because I used to talk hard. I felt like for both Vanessa and another young lady, Lisa Carroll, they weren't going that hard my senior year of college. Like, I felt like I was the only one. Like, I was tired of fucking losing. I went to a high school where we only lost 7 games. Like, I got championships. I got banners. My jersey's in rafters. Like, I don't like losing. Like, real life don't like losing. And I will bust my ass to make sure I'm prepared, that I'm doing the most I can to help the team win. And so for VP's Brazilian, and Lisa was from Sweden. And for them, sports wasn't that big. Like, VP trying to learn how to speak English and cultivate to a whole new culture at a Fordham University where she can be. If I felt lost at Fordham University my freshman year, I can only imagine Vanessa, who does not speak English, how now I'm grown, I can put all of that together. But as a, 18, 19, 20-year-old kid, I didn't understand that. So our senior year, Vanessa just felt like I was always yelling and screaming at her. And I'm like, damn, VP, I need you to show up, because VP was nice. VP was nice as hell. Like, VP was nice. In our junior year, she kicked up. But the only reason she kicked up is because one of our other teammates was bullying the fuck out of her. And the coach never made a change or anything like that. So she was like, nah, fuck that. You going to talk to me like shit, I'm going to kick up. And I'm going to make sure you ain't getting your spot back. That teammate graduated our senior year. So now just me, Vanessa, and Lisa. We supposed to be the big three. And VP ain't stepping up from what, Vanessa? Where you at? I got 10 and 20. Where you at? Come on. VP ain't want to work that hard. She worried about, all right, this her senior year. She might have to go back to Brazil. She might have to go back home after this. So little things like that, like, I just didn't understand as a child. But now I thank God that we have a better relationship. So I stopped by and I was kicking it with her son and her new boo. And just, I have content. Like, I sat down because her boo used to play basketball as well. And he actually got drafted to the Lakers. So I did like a sit down, a Black love / basketball type, loving basketball type interview with them that I need to edit and put together, and got mad candid shots and just sit down talking about just introducing and letting Vanessa tell her story on my platform, and introducing my audience to some of the key people that have made a difference in my life, right? But thank God I've now grown that we've able to have this conversation. Like now I understand my teammate. My teammate don't hate me no more because I'm on some Jordan shit. Like I don't get I went to my best friend's her son's Pop Warner game a couple of weeks ago. I said all this, right? So I bring on my equipment bag. I got all my cameras with me, my monitor and shit with me. I get in the car and the first thing she said, she's like, yo, where you going? What is all of that? I'm like, I'm media. She's like, oh boy. She's like, don't get mad if they tell you don't go up there starting no stuff. If they don't put you on the field, this, that, and the third. I'm like, yo, what are you talking about? Like, I'm going to get on the field. Like, what you talking about? I'm media. So this is where my friend knew me from a child. She's like, I wasn't discouraging you from doing what you do. My best friend know who I am from childhood. I don't take no for it. And you're not going to tell me no too many times. You're not. You tell me no one time, I'm going to figure out a way how to bust my ass to make my goals happen. That's why I'm able to walk on different red carpets. I went up to Connecticut, tried to cover a WNBA game. They were like, oh, nah, you got to get vaccinated. We can't let you on the floor. Y'all not going to tell me no. Let me go. I'll be a zombie. Zombie me. Because you're not going to tell me no. BT, you're not going to tell me I can't come to the BET Awards because they turned away Summer Walker. You're not going to tell me I can't come to the BET Awards just because I don't have no vaccination. I'm going to figure out a way to make the fuck I want to make happen. So we get to the field. And I just start going into my network. I'm going to find out who I need to talk to get the fuck on this field because I want to get content. Like, I'm here. I don't want to just be sitting on the side. My cousin, who works for the feds, my cousin be mad at me, honey. She's like, you don't never just know how to sit down. Who the fuck want to be a spectator? I'm trying to be I'm trying to have my jersey forever in the rafters, bitch. I'm not trying to just look at TV. Like, part of the reason why I don't watch TV now because I'm busting my ass writing different scripts. I'm writing books and shit. Like, I don't want to just be a team player just watching that shit on the YouTube. I don't want to be just a watcher. That shit's corny. That shit's corny to me. I'm trying to be an All-American. I'm trying to be at the All-Star game. I'm trying to be the starter of the game, bro. Stop playing with me. So, sis was fussing with me. Don't go up here and mess this up for my son. If they tell you no, this, that. I'm like, yo, who you talking to? I don't even move like that no more. Like, that was young Jay. I know how to get what the fuck I want. And now I'm a grown-ass woman. I know that men, you got to talk to men a certain type of way. Like, how I talk to women is not the same way how I talk to men. Not all men. And that's part of the reason why old buddy up top was frustrated me because I didn't handle him the same way I handled Chris. I didn't trust him enough to handle him the same way I handled Chris. So I'm going to talk to Chris a different type of way. There's going to be you have to speak. You can't, that's like being a good coach. You can't talk to each one of your players the same way and expect them to come out to get the same results. You can't. You cannot. You cannot. You must know how to talk to people. You must know how to maneuver and get what you need out of different situations. So that's what I was saying to my best friend. And I was like, sis, I ain't even that girl no more. But bet you I'm going to get on this field. Come to find out, I got to meet who I needed to meet. I got on the field. He tried to play me. He was like, I was like, yo, I hear Doc, you the guy I need to talk to. I got my equipment bag on my back, all that stuff. This is my equipment bag, y'all. Got my equipment bag on my back, all that. At my best friend's son's Pop Warner game. So I go up, introduce myself to Doc. He says, oh, well, to get where I am, you're going to have to pay $150. I'm like, bitch, where? I ain't say that. I like, where? I like, that's not how media works, sir. I'm a freelance journalist. I worked and covered different and third. Never had to pay to step on the court. Now, coaches have to pay to get into different AAU tournaments and stuff like that, but I never had to pay to take pictures. Even when I'm putting in applications, I never had to pay somebody to be able to take pictures. Like, I'm helping you at the end of the day. So, say less, when I got there, he said that to me. La, 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 la. I was like, all right, sir, well, when you decide to want to work with me, hit me up. Here's my information, this, that, and the third. And I walked down to the field. I ain't even sitting in the stands, in the rafters. I ain't even sitting up there. I walked down the field and I set off to the side, and I still had my camera out, but my camera was sitting down. Like, my camera was out, wasn't on, just sitting there, and I went on the field. Maybe 20 minutes later, who come by me? He's like, yo, come on. I'm like, oh shit, game time, let's go. Stay ready so you don't gotta get ready. So as soon as he said, come on, let's, because mind you, he told me no. He told me no when I first got there. He told me I had to drop $150 for me to even step on a Pop Warner film and take pictures of Pop Warner kids. All right, no, say that. Just leave that shit. Reason why my camera was out, because my best friend's son, they were over there warming up and like doing a walkthrough and all that stuff before they came to the field. So I got like the little footage of them walking up to doing their little chant. I got the footage of them like warming up and all that shit. Like once I edit this, shit gonna be epic. It's gonna be dope. It's gonna be dope. I got good ass footage. So what his ass told me, I can't be on the court. I can still get out here and get this work though. All right. So I'm there looking at the game, looking. He floated on by. Let's go. Mind you, this is my first time working on the field, on a football field, like during the game. So it's like, I don't know none of this shit. I'm just trying to stay behind the play and all that shit. So Doc come up and he starts schooling me. He started giving me all the information. He's like, yo, it's money out here. If you want to work, let's go. Cause I'm doing what I do. I don't really know what I'm doing, but I'm doing click. I'm making moves. He's like, all right, the white cap, that's the one. Anytime you go to the football field, this, that, and the third, that's the one you want to talk to. You need to let him know. Like, he's schooling me. So come fast forward, he's somebody related to Maya Moore. Stop playing. And he real life a legend in the track and field game, in the sports game. And the field that we were on is a family of footballers that have some type of, they purchase this field and they do these games and things for the young men. I done got 4 other damn interviews I got to do now, because just from being available and being around. But had I listened, on the way drive down, my homegirl just in my, like, I wanted to document the drive down and all that shit. My sister's in my head, though. Like, I ain't feel confident no more. Like, I ain't feel confidence no more. Like, damn, I ain't even going, because they ain't want the camera. Like, I went into my shell, like, fuck it. Sis don't want me to document this stuff. Like, I'm going to just wait till I get to the field. And then my confidence still was kind of down. Like, damn, like, all right. I'm like, man, fuck it. I'm going to get what I need. Like, I'm going to get what I need to get done. He a whole connect out here in these streets. He holds somebody. Like, I got to hit him up today. He's like, yo, it's money out here. It's a turkey bowl. It's this bowl. You want to hear, he's like, I could teach this, that, and the third, but the way you move, everybody can't move how you move. So I'm like, all right. I was available. Not too much in media has any, although I went to school, like I legitimately majored in communication and sociology. Nothing I learned about the media game that I learned from school. Nothing. And that's my fault, because I didn't do any internships. And while I was in college, because I was trying to figure out how to be a whole athlete, like I really, really in my mind was going to go overseas, come back playing the WNBA. I still wanted my gold medal. I was supposed to be an Olympian, married with 3 kids before I was 30. This was my whole, in my head, all that shit was gonna happen. Didn't happen. Okay. But I said all that to say, y'all, on my hair, I gotta burn my hair. Ugh. Don't sweep out your hair. I gotta burn it. I got my little sage cup. My little sage and stuff in here. My Palo. My red dragon sage. Red dragon blood sage. This is the list of things I want to burn. And I have some other hair in there too. So I any of my hair I pick up and put it in my sage bowl and burn. Because people are weird. Try to do dark magic and all that shit on you. Although I'm very Christian and do believe in my whole God and Jesus and all of them, I do know it's dark magic and dark powers and dark entities out here, and I still protect myself. Matter of fact, when I tell you I was kicking it with my grandmother all last night in my dreams, me and mama was outside. Like, Me and mama was outside last night. My mother's birthday was last week too. So this my granny. Yeah, they are weird and jealous. And come to find out, had I played it back, old schooly girl probably was low-key jealous of me because I had this. I ain't know who these fucking people was. I ain't know. Just got in alignment. Everything that I did, I just worked and got in alignment. So when I'm telling people like, yo, I ain't worked, like my whole ancestry squad, my mother, father, grandmothers on both sides, all in heaven. I don't got nobody physically on this world. I got friends and family. But my whole squad is in heaven looking at y'all. Better be careful. Be careful. Handle me right. I know I'm God's child. I know God gives a fuck about me from the miracles he keep putting in my path. And I'm not even always deserving of it. But I know my God loves me. That's why I be careful. No, be careful. Be careful. Cover yourself. My granny was in my dreams all last night. Granny was in. We was outside kicking it. And it was different because in my dreams, my granny was an old lady granny. Like my granny had, like, she didn't leave the house a lot. She had a back surgery that never allowed her to leave the house for some years. Like she stopped. Oh my God. I'm gonna do a grief video too and just express some things that I want to talk about dealing with her passing. But so in real life, like in order for me and my grandmother to hang out, like I always had to go to her. Like she stopped leaving the house. She stopped leaving the house. But last night in my dreams, we was outside kicking it. Granny pulled up to and she ain't had no cane, no walker, nothing. Like she ain't had nothing. Granny was outside. Mama was outside last night with me. Just outside with me. Just yeah, I hope I'm making her proud, man. I don't know. Get past all those emotions. Hey. But yeah. All right, y'all. I gotta get to getting. I done washed my dishes. I conditioned my hair. Y'all done got an hour and some change, damn near 2 hours of just Jay talking about everywhere I've been, what I've been going up to, what's been going on, why I haven't been on YouTube. I don't know if I'm gonna release season 2. I need to, because I need to get to work, but I'm real life making connections out here. And I need to go edit. And I got a client today that I gotta make up from last week too. So all right, y'all, namaste. Now I'm gonna stay my ass. I need to go dump this toilet too. So I'm gonna do my calendar now. Fill out at least 2 media applications of 2 different events that I need to get in the books. And then I'm gonna go dump this toilet, and then the rest of the night I have a meeting with a client. Yeah, Virgo Rose, nice catching up with you, boo. And take care, boo. Yep, and I'm gonna get to it. Get to this bag. I've been getting to the money. Hey, now everybody mad, and I do need to capitalize on TikTok too. And TikTok honestly wasn't in my head. I was running from TikTok like, yo, this shit hard to maneuver, to edit all this shit. TikTok easy as hell. If you know how to use an Instagram, you know how to use TikTok. I'm about to get on my TikTok bag because TikTok really is the wave, yo. The whole wave. It should be going. But all right, fam. I appreciate y'all. Y'all stay black, stay white, not hatred white. Just stay cool. Love to the family of Aubrey. Ahmaud Aubrey. To his family. And all the other black Americans that the justice system is choosing to not making these racist ass, shit, I call white folks coons too, coon ass activities that's been going on in America. So it's a lot. Anyway, y'all, Y'all stay out here and be blessed. Holla. I don't know how to turn this thing off. Yes, I do. Bam. In that.